Hold up. All right, guys. Welcome back. Episode 5 for N&M's Farmers Market. We're still working on the name. That might just be the overall channel, and then the podcast might be a different name. So that's one of the updates. So something to keep an eye out for. But we have our first guest. Our boy Ali is gracious enough to join the crew. So
golf clap.
Yep, golf clap. Loud clap. So, yeah, welcome to the pod, man. Happy to have you on,
Thank you guys for having me, man. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Perfect. He sounds good.
Yeah,
he does. I can hear him. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Of course.
Cool. Check the mics up.
I'm just kidding.
So one of the things that we're doing today, it's going to be maybe a shorter podcast, but we're also kind of doing a fight companion. We got the UFC fights 281 in the background. So if you see us jump out of our seats or whatever, or you see us probably stop talking for a minute, we might have to put in some cuts because we're just so focused on the fight. So we'll try to see how that goes. But yeah,
good stuff.
Yep,
I'm excited. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, first pod with another guest. We'll see how this goes. We'll be hopefully better hosts by the end of this, where we're actually like asking appropriate questions.
Yeah, so. Can I do something real quick? I mean, this might be off, but like I need to double check to me. I want to make sure it's recording.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see. We're gonna put in one of those fillers.
I'm gonna set the bar super low for guests onto the podcast.
You're gonna set it so high, nobody will want to come on.
No, it's good. It's recording. I just wait until we're doing this, and then we didn't even know that it wasn't recording the whole time.
I know what he was doing. He was just trying to show off his sweater.
Yeah, that's what it was. Oh, did you peep the sweater?
So,
what does it say, bro?
Ain't nothing but a Christmas party.
Ain't nothing but a Christmas party.
We're keeping it going. I'm telling you, I'm gonna rock one.
He said that he's gonna wear like ugly sweaters until Christmas. So
sometimes they're not even ugly, man. They're actually pretty nice.
No, they're fire.
Yeah.
I need to get like I saw a Vikings one that I'm like dying. Oh, speaking of that, Ali's one of our loyal Vikings fans. So we don't have very many here in New Mexico. So that's
yeah. I was gonna say there's like me, you, and like 2 other people in the States. So pretty awesome.
So
I'm going to say this.
Holding it down.
First time in my life I've ever been outnumbered by Vikings fans.
You're in a Viking sandwich right now, bro.
That sounds so... Okay.
All
sure.
Right. Okay, so let's get into our first topic today. We have a couple of things that we want to touch on. A couple of them were actually some topics that Ali had shared with us a while back. So one of the topics that I thought was kind of interesting was this concept of like paying it forward. And so I think that I've been very fortunate in terms of people that have paid it forward and have tried to make my journey with my professional development or just my life in general in terms of like people going out of their way to be kind to me and just help me out. And so just kind of want to see some thoughts you guys have, anything that you guys can remember in your life that has kind of allowed you to get to where you are today, or just something that you guys might want to kind of share.
No, absolutely. Thanks for the introduction, man. That's well, first of all, I wanted to say thank you guys. I'm honored to be the first guest.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting. So I just, we were kind of chit-chatting a couple weeks ago about potential concepts or not theories, but ideas that we could kind of talk about. And something that actually, as random as it is, I had watched a video on Instagram that really stuck with me. And I don't know if you guys know this about me, and I probably shouldn't admit this to everyone that's watching, but I'm a total baby cry, right? So
I get it. I'm right there with you, bro. I'm all in the fields. Ollie's always hitting me with some like super. I'm like, Ollie's trying to get me today.
It's I'm like sitting there and I'm just chilling, hanging out at the house, and I see this video and it really stuck with me. So then I sent it to you guys, and I sent it to the wife, and I was like, man, that would it's obviously it's editing. There's a lot to these videos, but then you start thinking about like when you do certain actions, it makes you feel a certain way. So I was like, it'd be really cool to kind of hear your guys' perspective on paying it forward, or maybe even a story that you guys remember that really has always stuck with you. And maybe that's the reason why you continue to do it. But I don't know. I'll pass it back to you. Mario, do you have any stories like that?
I'm sure there's a lot of them, man. Like I've been like, I would say I'm an example of paying it forward, right? just in like the, I've had a lot of times where random people give me motivation just in their actions and like continuing to do something. And I mean, that might not be like them paying it forward directly, but but I do have an example of like recently. So like just at the gym the other day, right? I remember when I first started working out at the gym, like I remember this so vividly too. Like these guys made fun of me because I didn't know what I was doing. And so I always told myself, like, if I ever see someone that needs some help or could use a little bit of advice, I'm going to be that person that just kind of lets them know, like, hey, they're doing it right, or hey, here's how you might want to do that better. And I don't know, because I would just hate for someone to feel the way that I felt that day. That was just an awful feeling, and it kind of made me like, I don't know. So from that moment, so like the other day, and it seemed like there's been an uptick of people at the gym recently, and a lot more people coming in trying to get a beat on the New Year's rush. But this person came in and he was squatting and he did something and it looked pretty bad. And it's not his fault, right? So like he was asked me to go spot him. He didn't have very much weight, but he's just, getting back into it. And you can tell he's pretty athletic, but he just never had anyone tell him like, hey, you shouldn't be lifting in foam shoes. So I told him, hey man, I would try it without shoes or get some different shoes. You're going to mess up your back. Like I've messed up my back plenty of times just trying to help you out. You have good form. You just need to, so he did it. I didn't even see him. So apparently he went and took his shoes off, did it without shoes when I wasn't looking, came back and found me later at the gym. I was already like almost done with my workout. This is about an hour later. Came back to find me to tell me like, hey, it felt better. Like I really appreciated that. Like it made a big difference. So it's little things like that where like, I know that's just a small example, but like you don't know how much that can affect someone's day. Like to even just to say like,
did you have somebody doing that for you in terms of like, did you ever have somebody at the gym that was like giving you tips, or did you have anybody, or is it that you kind of went through it on your own and then had to like figure it out? And so then you're like, I don't want somebody to have to go through that. And
yeah. So the gym for me is like evolved, like the stages of like how I approached the gym, right? So it went from being this thing that was just kind of a hobby to where I ended up taking it super serious to now it's like a mix of both, right? It's like for my sanity but all the things that I've learned throughout my different experiences, like I've paid for training. Shout out to our boy Ryan.
Ryan,
he used to be my personal trainer.
Yeah, he's mine too.
And all of the like all of the tips that he gave me and things that he taught me about just little nuances to like correct your form or to like fix a certain thing, I try to pass those on to people because they might not be, you don't know what they're going to be doing, right? But you hope that they do it to the best of their ability. So I just try to help them with that because no one ever gave me that advice. Like I kind of had to pay for it, right? You could watch as many YouTube videos as you want, but a lot of times they're intimidating, and it's always intimidating to go talk to people in the gym.
I think it's tough too. You know, you're getting advice through a video and like not somebody actually being there able to tell you, well, actually you need to do it this way, or consider doing it this way to help to avoid injury or for you to get the right muscle group to work or whatever. So, makes sense.
I feel a little left out. Ryan hasn't personally trained me.
I know, man. You're the next one. You're the next one.
Okay. Yeah, shout out to Ryan.
Shout out to Ryan. Hey bro, we need one more customer. I'm coming back too as soon as this hand heals up. For like me, it was actually in my professional journey. I had somebody that I had a very close friend that his family had a business that kind of coincided with what I wanted to pursue. And had it not been for their family kind of like giving me the opportunity to go work for them, I wouldn't have been able to get the experience in terms of just like, is this what I want to do? Is this not what I want to do? And then in terms of, even pursuing it, I had great mentors like along the path that were always giving me good advice, trying to steer me in the right direction. So I've been very fortunate, and so that's kind of one of the things that I like to do, and I've taken courses to try to like be a better how would I say this, like mentor in terms of like just trying to figure out how people, even if it's just like asking them like, what are you pursuing? How are you going to do that? These are the things that I had to do to get there. These are the things that you want to be like cognizant of to get to where you're going. And so that's kind of one of the things that I've been very fortunate with some of the mentors I've had that have like paid it forward to me. And I try to do that. And sometimes it's like, we have students that, are working with us and they're doing their training. And so even if it's like buying them a meal or getting them a coffee or just asking them how they're doing for the day, they're going on their own professional journey. And so I think it's always important just trying to trying to be there just to even answer some questions or try to give them some advice to try to help them along their way.
And I think that's actually a really good point because, when you think of paying it forward, and to Mario's point as well, when you think of paying it forward, you almost automatically insinuate that there's some sort of monetary transaction there. And it really doesn't have to be.
No.
Right. And so whether it's expertise in lifting or an opportunity in pursuing a potential career, it's invaluable, right? You can't even put a monetary value on those things. And I think that's why it was kind of interesting to even kind of sit there and dissect as we are. I think personally for me, I, just like the two of you guys, am very much so the product of people paying it forward. After my dad passed away when I was a lot younger, one of his best friends, who wasn't even a family member, right? He's just someone from work, completely different culture, completely different person, lived really close to us, and they were really close. He made it his mission to literally like take me under his wing. And that's so awesome. That's cool, man. When I was younger, I mean, I'm talking, 8.5, 9 years old, he would come over every night after work to help me with my math homework.
Man,
that's cool, man.
Right? With no request of any payment, not even asking anything, and as I got older, he would teach me more and more things, right? Because we had to be a little bit more self-sufficient. We had to be financially, I don't want to say frugal, but we had to be cautious, right, in what we did and what we pursued. And so he was teaching me how to work on cars, how to do different things in the yard. And so, I always thought to myself, I was like, why would someone want to do that? Like, that's just amazing to me.
It really is.
I finally, and his name's Alan, by the way, so he's always been a lifelong,
for being
mentor.
A great person.
He and his wife is the exact same way. And, so I think, when I finally got a chance to ask him, right, this is, 15, 20 years later. And I was like, so let me ask you, Alan, like, what was the point? Why did you do that? Or what, was your conviction behind what you did? And he just told me, he was like, listen, it was for the love out of your father, for your father. And and he told me that's what he thought God would want him to do. And I was just blown away. I was like, that's amazing, that's crazy. And that's kind of one of those things where, even like Nate's saying, we have the opportunity to kind of meet with students quite a bit, or go and teach a class, or go and take someone under your wing at the basketball court in the community center. There's so many different little things you can do.
Yeah, that happens a lot, actually. As you mentioned that, like when we go to the gym and I see kids that are like the kid that we played with the other day, like I try to give them advice because I wish someone would have told me that, or looked at me in that way of like, you have potential, right? But like, I think everyone sometimes is a little bit selfish sometimes without even realizing. So any chance I can get to like help someone understand, like, hey man, if you just do this or you just do that, you can do whatever you want.
I think that's great. That's like a good thing in terms of that thought, in terms of sometimes it's, not everybody's getting it at home. Not everybody's getting that love, that encouragement, that support, and then just having anybody say, hey man, you can do this. Hey man, you can do, like, it's huge in terms of anybody's like trajectory in life, in terms of just having somebody tell you you can do it. And like,
other than like, sometimes too, I would say like it's a different perspective from someone that you don't know that can change your opinion, right? Like your parents could tell you all the time, like, oh, I believe in you. And it's like, oh, but you're just my parents. But then to have someone that you've never met before kind of look at you in a different light and be like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? It changes your opinion of yourself a little bit. And I don't know, just little things like that. Yeah. Like to your point, like you said earlier, like taking those classes and understanding, like sometimes it's not always about like, are you asking the right questions? It's like, how are you asking those questions, right? Because sometimes we are asking the right questions. It's just how you ask them can change the way someone answers or the way they think about it. And I don't think people understand that. Like math taught me that, right? So I had bad math teachers and good math teachers, and the good math teachers were always really good about how they presented the material to keep you engaged, versus like the bad ones that would always just throw it at you like it was coming out straight out of a textbook. Like I could just read that stuff. So
I took a couple of teaching courses, and one especially was very good in terms of what you were saying, like how are you asking the question, like trying to help people connect concepts, or like trying to be like, you're here but I need you to get here, and so how do I get you, how do I ask the right questions to help you start putting together these like different concepts so that you can go to. So that's great that you said that in terms of just.
Yeah, because I always think of this like sometimes you're trying to like get someone to understand your perspective, and you don't always need them to believe it, right? But you just want them to understand it, and so depending on who you're talking to, you want to ask it a certain way, or just, and you know, that's kind of the thing. Same thing with like paying it forward, like, or like trying to provide that information to someone. You just want to be able to do it so they understand it and they take it the right way and they see it as like a blessing. You know, sometimes people take things the wrong way. You just never want to come off the wrong way. But yeah, and that's
I will say, like, Ali's cultivated this really amazing group of guys.
Yes.
And so I'm very fortunate that we've had the opportunity to get, you know, you've been so welcoming and kind of, you know, asking me to come play, and then, you know, I brought along Mario, and then like Mario or Ali's got these really fantastic group of guys that we play ball with. We just kind of hang out with. We got this like 20-man text group that is going off throughout the day, but it's just like a bunch of like 20 just solid dudes that I just like. I've you know, me and you have had this conversation in terms of just how fortunate I am to have like become friends with you, and I, you know, you had me in my fields just talking about your family friend that really helped you. So
no, I appreciate it. And then you know, even before we get to that point, I'm just going to throw this out there. Mario's a total field general when he's on the court, right? Like, he's being super humble right now. He's like the epitome of the player coach, right? Like I can hear him the whole time. He's like, "No, man, you had a wide open lane. You just got to go lay it up, you know." Or, "Hey, no, you got that step back. Just balance yourself. Take that shot."
Dude, I like. Oh my gosh, who is it? Dave that I'm always yelling at. Dave, like, so our buddy Dave, he like has this bad. He's a big dude and has this bad habit of when he shoots up by the rim, he shoots back. He jumps backwards. Yeah. So I'm like, "Dave, jump towards the basket. Jump towards the." Every time we're playing, I'm like, "Dave, you need to jump towards the rim." And he's just like, he like blows me off now, but it's pretty funny.
No, but sorry, I didn't mean to derail everything, but getting back to what Nate's saying, actually, it's been a huge blessing, right? And I think it's really impressive because we were talking about this a couple weeks ago where, you know, at certain points in life, some of us are very blessed to have like these really strong relationships since we were young, right? So we're 5 or 6 years old, and those are friendships that will probably never go away, right? And it's always like those are the people that you meet, even it can be 5 years later and it feels like you saw them yesterday, right? And I think I genuinely feel that way with this group is everyone is so selfless, everyone cares about each other, and no one's judging anyone, right? It's more about the act of like just coming together, having a good time, right? Like we went to my house, we had a nice little barbecue. We played what's that? Spike ball. Oh yeah. Oh my God. That was that got super intense.
Wow.
We're all competitive.
Yes. Yeah. And then you know, and it's nice because then it's what's cool about that whole group, and honestly, it's kind of easy way for all of us to pay it forward to each other is we're able to hang out outside of our regular lives, right? And you know, there might be something that Nate's great at. Or, for example, Mario, like literally just before we got on this pod, the two of you guys were just going through and like figuring out what the issues were with the mics and the programs. You're like explaining it to me, and it literally sounded like rocket science, right? Because I don't know any of this stuff, but that's like, to me, that's paying it forward because you guys were teaching me something, right? Yeah. And that's awesome. I love that.
Have you ever like been in a drive-thru, someone's bought you food? Cause so I always think of like when you say paying it forward, like that's a good example of something that happened to me randomly one day. So was in a Starbucks line and I go to pay for my stuff and they're like, the person in front of you paid for it.
Nice.
So you just keep it going, man. But this always makes me laugh because I can just imagine being that person where like you go to pay for it and it's like $60. They were picking up stuff for work.
That's when you ask like just before you're like, "Hey, so how much is the bill?"
You're hoping the Starbucks employees looking out for you, like, "Are you sure you want to pay for the? What about the car behind them?" Like, you know,
like 3 cars behind.
But that happened to me one time, and I'll always remember that because people kept it going. I could see them in the rear view, like getting their stuff, and being like, "Oh my God." And so that was kind of a cool thing too. We should try that again. It's almost like the wave, but of paying for things. But yeah, man, just cool stuff, man. I appreciate the paying it forward, and I think like as you go through life and you become that person that like you take everything that has helped you and you want to help other people, you start to meet those types of people and they become part of your life, right? Like I really do believe that saying like birds of a feather flock together. So I think if you try to maintain like a high level of person in your life or just someone that fits your vibe, right? Like like, you know,
we kind of talked about, I said this in one of our first podcasts, where I'm just like, if you don't have friends that are encouraging you, trying to have you be the best person that you can be, and are really supportive of your dreams and your goals and stuff like that, at this point in at this point of our lives, that's kind of one of those things where I really want to just surround myself with people that are good people that are, really going to help, just be supportive, or, just be a good friend in terms of my journey, whatever that be. And you don't want to have people that are, you want to be able to support people if they are having a good time, but you also don't want to have people that are constantly bringing this negative energy and kind of not allowing you to achieve your your ultimate goals.
When I think to that point is, it's such a huge blessing to know and be at a point in life where you can make that decision, right? And not feel bad about it, right? Like, because
being okay with some friendships and being like letting the other ones go.
Exactly. Yeah. We were just talking about this a little bit earlier too, is, at some point you got to just kind of make decisions and kind of be okay with it. But let me ask you guys this. So, we talk about the concept of paying it forward, and it's more in the context of it's beneficial for the recipient. And then there's also partial benefits on the giver's side, right? Whether that's us or someone's, paying it forward to us. Would you guys ever consider paying it forward being a selfish act? Like, you're almost doing it just so you feel good?
So funny you mentioned that. So there's an episode of, we were just watching, shout out Rick and Morty, by the way, where, and we'll give you just a quick synopsis. So like the dinosaurs technically didn't ever die. Like they were the race. So basically, I'm not going to spoil it for everyone, but
you're going to have to spoil it, essentially. If you watch Rick and Morty, this is an old episode at this point. So
the idea is that the dinosaurs became so smart that they had to move on to other planets and try to help other planets.
Okay.
What they didn't realize is, like, in doing so, there was this other race of it's like the asteroid. After every time they leave a planet, it comes and kills everything on the planet.
Right.
They didn't know they were doing this, right? But in their quest to like make every planet sustainable and like the best version of itself, like Rick argues to them, like, that's also selfish, like, because you're trying to say that you're doing it for the best of everybody else, but like you're being very selfish, because are you really, like, there's always something to it, right? So when I think of like you're right, it is just a little bit selfish in that, like,
I think that there is something in terms of, if you want to leave a legacy, in terms of being like, I would like to give, and I think that some people, how would I say this? They take pride in being able to help people, and so then, it is rewarding to them to help to help somebody else, and so there is maybe that selfish act, but I think it's still a selfless thing in terms.
I agree. I would say, like, the only reason I say it's a little bit selfish is because, like, I heard this saying one time, and I don't remember if I read it or what it was. It was like, you can't expect you out of other people, right? Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes when you're trying to, like, pay it forward, you try to tell them how, like, you would handle things, or, like, because that helped you, and not necessarily all the time that's going to be what
I think that would maybe be in terms of your delivery. Yeah. So, like, being mindful of your delivery.
Right.
So, whether that be at the gym or whatever. So, you know what I mean? So, how you're giving them that information and how you're sharing it with them, because it can also come across as condescending if you're not coming from the right angle.
Yeah, and I think my counterpoint to, you guys are both making excellent points. Right. My counterpoint to that is, I think the line of whether it's selfish or not comes purely based on the qualifier of intentionality.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
So if you are
100%.
consciously thinking that, I'm going to do this, but record it so I can show off.
See, that kills me. Okay, so that kills me. Yeah. I will also. So one of the.
where you're going with this.
Yeah. So one of the things, even in like certain religions, is like this act of doing good things, but then, like, especially like, we don't really want to get into like religion heavily on this pod, but one of the things, like with Catholics, there's like Catholic, there's something along the lines of, like, you don't want to do things so that you get praise while you're here. You can do things basically in silence, or you're doing it just to do it, but you don't need to do it so that you can get praised here. You can do it so that you're getting that in the afterlife, because that you didn't say, look what I did. Look at this fantastic thing that I did. It's just like, you do the thing and it's for the betterment of that person, but you're not doing it necessarily so that you can go around and turn around and say, look what I did, look how amazing of a person I am.
You won't reap any sort of benefit, you won't get any sort of clout, you won't get any sort of monetary kickback.
Great.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, because that's I think is like what you said, it just brings up a lot of things in my mind that I've always, I have this weird, like, me and Nate talk about it all the time. Like, I'm not on social media, and I got back on for the podcast, and because I finally was like, I need to start putting like content out, like the videos I do and stuff like that. So
you know how excited I was to see you back on Instagram, bro.
Dude, I had a lot of people that were like, damn, you're back on Instagram, huh? And I'm like, yeah, you know what, but I don't have the app, right? So like, I keep the app intentionally off my phone, so this way I have to go in through the browser or like make it a whole process. But that was always kind of my thing with social media, was like, it's not that I didn't like it. I just felt like there was a lot of like selfish paying it forward, to your point. And that always drove me crazy, because like I've never once thought of like, if I do something good for someone, I need to show everyone I'm doing something good. And don't get me wrong, I know there are people like the guy that would go around giving homeless people haircuts and stuff like that. Yeah, like that's a great like thing, right? And I think maybe it started off as like a thing that he was doing, and then he was kind of like, hey, you should. Someone probably told him, you should show people what you're doing for people. But at what point does it become like a, you know what I mean? Like,
totally,
he's doing 100%. It for his own clout or whatever.
Right.
I actually really like that guy that does it, because
I forget
a lot of times he ends up asking them about themselves and trying to understand them better, their background, like how did you get here, like what's going on.
It feels real, right? It like really it feels like it's a legitimate thing that he's doing. He's going out there with his own time, right? And his own clippers, and spending his own expertise and training and doing this. And I think it's really interesting. There's a very fine balance, right? Like, and I think that for that point, of social media context and how that can really extrapolate many different feelings, I think it can always be used for good too, right? Like, so you can start a trend, right? You can like, 100%. So we're thinking of like
ice bucket challenge or something.
Exactly, the ALS ice bucket challenge or something like that. Like, that's not a bad thing, right? Like, you're technically paying it forward at the end of the day, But I think realistically, I think even doing podcasts like this, right? You're technically paying it forward. Yeah. You guys setting up this avenue of like learning, or even just like understanding, or even building confidence in someone to be able to say, hey, I think I could do that too. Awesome.
Honestly, if we could do this, anyone could fucking do this. But I mean, like, and that's the thing. Like, I like, we talked about this, like, when we started doing this, like, what's the goal? And I think it's like, if we can help someone just by something that we say to help them be a better person, or to get some type of like, oh man, like that was very informative, and we just give someone that spark, dude, that's a win for me. Like, I don't even care if it's one person. Like,
I some of the topics that Ali had really sent, I was like, these are phenomenal topics in terms of just
like 2 minutes left.
Different subjects that we kind of wanted to cover, and I think that's definitely something that we've kind of alluded to in the earlier podcast, in terms of just trying to make this a channel that is going to be promoting, healthy, like, men's health, good vibes, trying to make sure that we're trying to share good things in terms of, I don't know, I just want to make sure that we're spreading positivity and making sure that we're just helpful. Because,
like, I'm a huge advocate for mental health for men, just because I think it's not talked about enough. And even in speaking with a lot of, it just sounds kind of weird.
We spent literally 5-10 minutes earlier prior to getting on the pod, and it's a lot about mental health or men's health and dealing with relationships.
Well, you'd be surprised. I've had friends of mine that are girls ask me, hey, I'll make this quick.
How we do?
We got like a minute left. I've had friends of mine that are girls ask me, like, what are you guys gonna be talking about on the podcast? And I mentioned men's mental health, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is like, yes. Oh, good. You need to talk about that. And I don't know how you feel about that, but like, the fact that even, women understand, like, men need to talk to men more about what's going on in their brains. Like, so if we can we'll get into that.
We'll come back to this, guys. We're going to take a quick break because we're running out of time, but see you in a bit. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, coming back for the second segment of our UFC 281 fight companion hang sesh. Okay, guys.
Mario's stuck over
Mario is like struggle busting right now. He's gotten cocked on.
We're good.
So just a couple of things that we wanted to touch on, especially with the holiday season coming up. Mario brought us another cologne selection from the vault. And so what's the name of this one, brother?
Okay, so don't kill me for saying the name wrong, but it's Jean-Paul Gaultier. Oh my gosh, that's a Hispanic. Yeah, and so Jean-Paul Gaultier, it's Lamelle Le Parfum. So we're gonna get Ali's blind reaction to it. I let Nate smell it earlier, but we can do it with Nate again. So
yeah, we gotta do the. So one of the things that we talked about is doing spraying on the skin, so you can get a.
How does this work?
Looks like it opens from the bottom.
Okay, I just don't want the whole thing.
No, you're good. There you go.
Fancy. All right, so what's the proper way of spraying?
All right, so you want to spray it on your skin, so you could do it on your wrist at least to get it. So you
got to pull the little choker.
Oh yeah, it has like a.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, let's see here.
And I have the note breakdown from Fragnatica. So
did you get a good spray?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a pretty solid.
All right, let's see. So there's the initial smell, and then tell us what that initially smells like, Ali. What do you think that smells like initially on your skin?
Wow, that's amazing,
dude. I know. I got a whiff of it earlier. I was like, "What is this cologne?"
Okay, so I am gonna admit I don't know a ton about perfumes or colognes, but that reminds me a lot of like a fresher Polo Blue. Is that fair to say? I mean, I don't know if that's blasphemous because I know there's a lot of Polo Blue fans out there, but that is a very good smelling cologne.
All right.
Hold on, let's see what we
Go
got
ahead.
on the-
Go ahead.
So it has a sweet initial smell, at least off the sprays.
Off the rip.
We had another cologne that we smelled just the other day.
That was Dolce & Gabbana, one.
No, not the Dolce & Gabbana. It was one of the ones that has a tester. It was
Noir.
Not Noir.
Tom Ford.
Not the Tom Ford. It was
The
other
Versace?
one. No, it was the.
Oh my God. Luna Rosa. I mean, Valentino Umo.
Yes.
Yep.
It
Similar.
has that vibe in terms of it has that initial sweetness.
Yeah, very sweet.
What
Okay.
are the notes?
So the top notes is cardamom.
Oh,
That's the main top note, and then the middle notes, the main ones that you're gonna smell are lavender and iris. So it's the iris again that you're like.
The sweetness.
Yes,
The sweetness.
and the lavender, and then the base notes are vanilla, oriental
the
notes,
vanilla.
and woodsy notes.
Yeah, I get that. I get the vanilla and I get the woodsy notes.
So I will say,
How long? This is a parfum.
yes.
So this one should last a while.
Lasts a while, has amazing projection, and you don't need a lot of this. Like I don't spray a lot of this. Like pretty like 3 or 4 puffs. So that's
so Mario's a lot, and Mario's normal puffs versus my normal puffs are completely. I do 1 to 2, and then if it's like an EDT, maybe 3, because I know it's not gonna last. Mario's default is like 4 to 6, so he's a heavier sprayer than us. So let's just preface this.
Fair.
What are you as a sprayer, Ali?
I'm about a 2 to 3.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely not a 4 to 6.
But I will say, we'll be out, and I'll be like, I can still smell you, Mario. I was like, whatever amount of puffs you did enough. So
we talk about all the time how I get compliments. So I got a compliment with this one, and it was the funniest thing. So
you mean me about an hour ago?
No, so I was walking into Smith's. It was before I came over here one time, and I had to pick up. I don't remember what it was I was bringing to your house, so I stopped at Smith's.
Okay, it wasn't when you were with me and Ryan, where we're literally in the food aisle, and then some lady's like, "Skirt! One of you guys smells amazing." She was about it.
So no. So I'm walking through, and I had just come from the seasoning aisle. Actually, I wasn't coming here. I was going down to Pecos, and I was getting seasoning I was making a brisket. Anyway, I'm walking by, and I walk by these 2 ladies, and the lady literally goes, "Oh my God, someone smells amazing." I thought the first time I ever wore it, and I was like, this one's good stuff, man.
I could see Mario just totally turning around and be like, well, let me tell you about
Yeah, there we go.
No, I've had some interesting compliment. I like that.
You had he had one story at a pizza spot one time. Tell us about that pizza spot.
So it was me and my sister. We had just finished at the zoo. Mind you, I'd been outside all day, so this blew me away. So we're sitting down, we're eating pizza, and the waitress walked by again, and then she's walking back to go get whatever from the back. She stops and she turns around. She's like, "Excuse me, what are you wearing?" And she like literally is like, "I have to ask you because this smells so effing good." And me and my sister were like, and my sister was blown away, and me like, because this happens quite a bit. Like I'm not even joking. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, sure. So I started describing to her, and it was It was a Club de Nuit.
Oh yeah.
Nate has a bottle of it. I do. Yeah,
that one does.
It's basically like a replica of Creed Aventus, but that's what I was wearing, and I was like, oh, and I told her, and I don't think she understood what I said because it sounds stupid. But I was telling her,
it's great.
She literally like stopped like midway and turned around and was like, I have to ask you. I need to get this for my husband. And I was just like,
that's hilarious.
We were golfing one time. Literally, the lady in the golf cart was like
I went to go buy a beer.
Yeah, he was grabbing some beverage or whatever, and then literally the lady's like, "Oh my god, you smell so good!" And then she's like, "Well, what is it?" And then I think it was
YSLY.
Yeah, and then he said that, and then she's like, "Oh, he wears it. My husband wears it, but it doesn't smell that good on him." I was like, "Oh, shots fired, boy!" Somebody come get your girl.
I wish I could get it. Like when I tell you guys that cologne has gotten me into trouble, like I wish I could tell you this story that happened the other night. It was just like, but that's the thing. That's why I tell you guys, smelling good is so important. Like
it's one of the many senses. So you better be bringing.
So. I'll keep bringing them every week.
What's this one going to run somebody full price if you're not getting it at a discount?
Full price? I want to say it's probably like $130.
Well, okay, for a big bottle? For that bottle?
Yeah.
Because they all come in that size.
Yeah, they all come in this size. But at discounters, I think you can get this one for about like 70 to 90. So, but like that's what I'm saying. Like I try not to buy like super expensive stuff. But like this one, like because of how strong it is, and it's very wintry. I wouldn't recommend it in the summer. Maybe.
This is another winter. We were talking about winter colognes at one of our last pods, and like which ones, like what are the different smells, things that you could be wearing. So this is again probably another great.
It smells really good in the cold, and I've heard like this is this is Le Parfum. I've heard Ultramil from this brand from Jean Paul is like the clubbing scent that everyone used to smell out back in the day when you'd go clubbing. But this one's definitely like a more mature version. Definitely would say like it's a good day cologne. Don't need a lot of it, and it lasts a while, and it smells really good in the cold. And these guys can attest to that. It smells good.
Man. So I'm still getting right now. So now that it's kind of dried down, getting some more vanilla notes, and still kind of like like that woodsy kind of smell. What about you? What are you getting?
What's interesting? I'm not getting any lavender at all.
So
I'm getting a lot of. I think the lavenders are the opening notes, though, right?
It's in the middle. It's in the middle
because the dry down smells. A lot of vanilla. What do you think?
Yeah, vanilla for sure.
So I don't think people really like, and I was telling you this last time, like the sweeter the cologne, like as a guy, you might kind of be like, that's weird. But something about it, like if you're looking for compliments, like the sweeter colognes are definitely the way to go. Like
we have, I have another one. Should we break out that Tom Ford so that Ali can see what he thinks of it?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. We're gonna take I'm gonna take a quick run.
And so while he's on his break, we want to shout out today's sponsor. Just kidding.
There we go.
Actually, I can tell everyone about the very first time you and I met.
Oh, yeah,
we were playing basketball at park off of Ventura, really close to Hoffmantown.
Yep.
And I remember, like, I don't know how we got to this topic, but we started talking about cologne. And I'm like, I'm going to admit right now, I was Polo Blue for about 10 years straight, and I switched to Aqua di Gio about 5.5 years ago, and I've never moved from that.
Yeah.
But it was so amazing to hear the amount of knowledge you had about this stuff. I was like blown. I was like, that's impressive. Because me and Nate were asking you these random questions. You'd be like, oh, that's definitely X, Y, and Z. And I was like, how do you know that?
It's weird, bro. It's one of those hobbies that you get into, like, just randomly. So I tell Nate all the time, I have this weird brain where I remember random things. But not the other day, like, he's the fight guy, right?
Yeah.
We were talking about the fights, and I happened to remember something, and he was like, really good call. And I'm like, but that's when my brain
was that you remembered the Tony Ferguson knockout. Yeah, that Chandler. Because I couldn't remember who he had done it, and I was like... Yeah. I was impressed because I got a encyclopedia for the fights.
It's weird sometimes, like, and I just remember certain things. So, like, especially with cologne, I think it sticks with me because it's associated with the smell.
Yeah.
So, and to me, that, like, especially coming out of the marketing world for a little while, like, those two things go hand in hand. And so, like, I think if you can get something to associate with the smell,
for sure.
Like, dude, if you could put your fucking hometown smell into a candle, you know how many of those you would sell?
Mine is already green chili, so we're good to go.
That's true.
Bro, did we just miss it?
Oh my God, we just missed it.
Oh, guys, I've been trying to this whole time. I've been wanting to say that this was Frankie Edgar's like last fight, and I was hoping he was going to go out on top. And if you guys haven't seen the fight, if you guys are watching this, I'm sorry, guys, but poor Frankie got knocked out right now, guys.
I hope he runs it back, dude.
It's killer. I really didn't like that they were giving him. So after we had the pod, I started going and looking at some of this guy's fights, and the dude that they were giving Frankie Edgar for his last UFC fight was not a walk in the park, which is what I was worried about. And yeah, poor.
Is this a dude that I said might win because he's?
You called this one. You called this one. So I didn't see who won the last one. So man, that's killer. Wait. I was rooting for Frankie Edgar and I picked him as my thing, but it was more so because I didn't know Gutierrez until I did it.
We were just talking about this. I don't know if he hit his full 5 minutes, dude.
Oh my god, you're so right. So Frankie Edgar was at 7:55, and we were hoping that he just needed to get through one round to get to 8 hours in the cage, and he is currently like the all-time leader in minutes in the cage. Literally, the fighter that he's fighting right now is crying. Like so this is like a really, it's such a killer moment, but
mad respect.
The absolute legend, Frankie Edgar. He was the 155 champ for the longest time. Had some crazy wars with Gray Maynard and BJ Penn, and so just an absolute legend. And so I hope this isn't the last time. He said it is, but I want them to run it back at least one more time because I think he's just an absolute legend. I really want to see him go out on top.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
These are always hard moments when they.
These are hard, especially, and you can see that like Frankie is, he's just emotional. This is like a big moment.
And you can tell his opponent almost feels bad.
Dude, his opponent is getting emotional, and he's just like,
Is it a kick again?
It's a knee.
Oh no.
Oh.
Just caught him straight on.
Just the cleanest left tiny.
Oof. Yeah, that's tough, man. Frankie Edwards.
I don't think he's a flying knee technically, but it's definitely
Came up quick.
Just perfect. Just couldn't have thrown that any more on the button than that one.
I'm telling you, if that hit my face, I'm dead. That's all.
Jeez.
That's just like.
Okay, so before we get off, so I'll lead to smell this one. This is one of the ones that me and Mario had kind of talked about. It's got an interesting smell. And so I want you to give it a try. It's called Tom Ford Ombre Leather. It has like a interesting opening notes, but the dry down is kind of it's aggressive, but it's like it's supposed
I would spray it a little bit.
You'll have to
spray it.
I was like, you'll have to maybe hit it on your other hand so it doesn't quite mix with the.
So just so go ahead.
So I will say it is aggressive. It is aggressive.
That's like South Valley aggressive,
bro. So this is like if I had a preface,
was it okay for me to say?
if I had to give this like if I wanted to put you in a location that you would be wearing this would be like at a cigar bar in a dimly lit kind of room with maybe like a old fashioned really neat whiskey or something like that. So it's definitely got like a really, I think. Yeah. So it's. Go ahead and give the notes.
Can I tell you what I'm
give me
thinking about? Right, I'm thinking Vernon's Speakeasy.
Yeah.
Total speakeasy type vibe where it's like low key. Yeah. Like almost, you definitely don't want like a fruity type scent. It's very manly.
The
like
manliest.
Musky.
Tell me this isn't the manliest, mustiest. Like,
I feel like I just chop wood for like. Well,
yeah, bro. You got the flannel on.
I feel like I just chopped wood for like 3 years straight, and I just like smell my wrist finally. That's crazy.
Do you get like a tobacco-y smell?
I do. Okay. Yeah, it's very strong.
It's strong.
Pungent.
So it's pungent. Like right out the get, we might come back at the end of this pod, and I want you to give me an update on how you feel about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. So interesting enough, the same top note as the last one we tried, cardamom. So I think that's
like
kind
of
The middle notes are leather and jasmine.
The leather is pronounced.
Base notes are amber, moss, and patchouli. So I think the smell that you like, that you think is kind of a whiskey, it's the patchouli.
Maybe.
But
I don't know.
there's no whiskey note in there, but
It's already adjusting. That's crazy.
Yeah, it comes on aggressive. So one thing I will tell you about this cologne is it's not something, it wouldn't be an everyday wear. It would be like you're going out having like a dinner, fancy dinner, or you want to spray it in advance. This isn't one of the ones that you're spraying right as soon as you're meeting the person that you're supposed to be meeting because it's going to come off as really aggressive.
It's hot.
But this is the one that you spray at your house. You got a 30 minute pickup, and then maybe another 20-30 minute to the restaurant. But by the time this dries down, I like the smell, and Mario kind of talked about it.
Yeah, so
what are your thoughts, Mario?
I love it. So I don't own this one yet, and I say yet because I need to get me a bottle, but I fell asleep, so I sprayed it on and tried it. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then I woke up the next morning and I was like asleep, weird as shit, and it was like my hand over like this, and I was like, damn, something smells good. And I was like, holy shit. It was the Tom Ford, and it's one of those ones that you like, dude, for me, 3 or 4 puffs.
Yeah. I was about to say this one is like really aggressive. The dry down is like the dry down, but the initial those opening ones, you're like, oh
yeah, it's a little tough at first.
It's coming in hot.
So if it's 3 to 4 puffs from Mario, it means it's like half a puff for us.
I'm doing like 2 puffs max. I'm doing 1. Maybe 1, 2 on neck, and that's it. Like,
yeah, I can already. It's already adjusting. It actually smells really good.
No,
yeah.
it's fantastic.
I thought you were like messing with me.
No, it's so hyper aggressive. Like it comes out the gate so hot.
Yes.
But you're like, what did you just give me? And then watch. Like we'll touch base again, and you're like, the more you smell it, you're like, the more I kind of like it. It's kind of a tricky one.
It's one. I think it's. And maybe you guys can educate me on this, but. My understanding is the colognes act differently on different skins and oils.
Yep.
This one smells legit, dude.
Yeah.
Like even after a couple minutes.
It's one of the pricier ones though, because
you're gonna get this tiny bottle.
Yeah.
And it is like this little bitty bottle, and it's like
so
200
I think
plus
it retails for over 200. You can get it at discounters for like around 200.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty expensive, but it's worth the money, man. It's good stuff.
This is like a date night one. This isn't an everyday wear, just to be clear.
No, don't wear this every day. If you want to, if you want to wear it every day, go right ahead.
Don't be coming into the office with this. You're gonna
you're gonna drown some people out.
I was actually just thinking about that. So I told Mavish that we were doing a podcast, but I didn't tell her we were trying to perfume.
You need to give. You need to. Yeah, you'll have Mavish. We're spraying colognes on him. So if he gets home and he smells a little different,
we're like, what the heck's going on here?
No. This could actually work in your favor because if she's like, you're fucking buying that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aqua de Joe. You need this.
Honestly, to her credit, she's been trying to get me to switch colognes. Like and not because she doesn't like the Aqua di Gio, but just to kind of
just to mix it up, just
horizons. And I'm just totally one of those safety guys, right? Like if I find something that works,
bro, we have so many that you could try.
Yeah,
we'll bring out the works and figure out which one you like.
Aqua di Gio, the Profumo. I talked about this one. I haven't brought it yet, but you would really like that one. It's like the more adult version.
It's like
it's
like a manlier,
mustier. It's one of my favorite colognes ever. Like it is so good.
Really?
Like. And it's renowned too. Like I'm telling you, like anytime you see someone's top 10 list, that's usually on it. Like,
you know what's interesting though is I must say when I used to wear polo blue, I rarely got compliments or people asking because I think it's such a common scent.
Yeah.
But even with Aqua di Gio, I feel like it's a very common scent. But I do get a lot of compliments.
People still love it.
Yeah. And
I was telling Nate, like they reformulated it and it's not as strong as it used to be, but it is one of the best things you'll ever smell. Like, and it's so good. It's always consistent. Like you can wear it anywhere. It's a great cologne. I just wish it lasted a little bit longer.
And I think it lasts good. Like I think it'll last most of the day.
Yeah.
Because before though, like back in the day, like
Mario said, the old one used to last like
forever.
Really?
Yeah. And then they reformulated it, and now like the performance it's nowhere near what it used to be.
Okay.
So, but. Yeah. Okay. We're at 20 minutes. So
we're at 20 minutes. I have one tech recommendation, and let me go grab that. I'm just jumping in and out of these scenes, and then we can hop into. I think one thing that we wanted to talk about that Ali kind of threw out was 5 skills that hoopers should have, like that you want to kind of. Yeah. So I would say that we're all kind of basketball aficionados, so I feel like this would be a good topic to have.
Oh,
with
and
Ali here.
we're all enemies next week, by the way, because Cowboys play the Vikings next week.
Yo, let's go.
Like right now, we're friends because we play the Packers, and I know they hate the Packers, so they're gonna be on my side. But
I'm going for the Cowboys if you guys are playing the Packers.
yeah, we are. We're playing them this weekend. That's what I'm saying. Like we're all homies this week, but next week I don't know these guys. I don't even talk to them. I told Nate we're wearing jerseys next week.
Dude, I'm down. I have my AP.
Yeah.
I got to bring it out.
All right. This is the coolest shit. Like, okay, Nate, so you got to show this off.
So this is a gift that I happened to come across whenever I was at a Apple store, and so I'm gonna it's a 3-way charger. It's a 3-in-1 charger. I'm gonna pass this along so Ali can take a look at it.
Dude, this is so cool.
So it essentially has a charger on top. It has a charger. If you go ahead and flip open that thing, the one on the top. So the top one's a charger. That portion where you have behind the top portion right there, you put your headphones. So you can essentially have
sit them on top.
So you can literally have a phone charging on top. You can have headphones charging right there, and then see on the side, on the right hand side or the other side, pop it out.
No, push that little. There you go.
And then there's actually a charger for.
Cool.
So it's like a really sleek 3-in-1 charger.
It's a super.
It goes
strong
there.
magnet, too.
You put your watch on the other side, and you have your headphones, and it just charges all your Apple stuff. So I will say that this is not the cheapest charger.
How much are we talking?
This one's $150. But it's a 3-in-1, and if you go to look at any 3-in-1, like at any type of Apple store, it's going to be $150. But this is like the sleekest one I've ever seen, and the top charger is actually 15 watts, and a lot of times the top one that has for the phone is only 7.5. So it's like a decent.
Is that mean it's a fast charger at that point?
It's a fast charger that's like through the what's it called?
Cool.
Dude, the magnet is strong as shit on that. Yeah,
through the magnet, or I can't think of it. The Qi charger. So it's
that
a
crazy?
fast
I
Qi charger.
need this.
Yeah, dude, it's fire.
I need
Yeah,
it is so cool.
It's one of the coolest ones.
I'm like thinking like travel wise. Like, how convenient would this be?
Dude, at work, I've been wanting to take it work. It's just like
my thing too is like I have
this cool.
Oops. I have all these separately, but not together. And like the fact that they're all together is
it's one of the coolest little chargers that I've bought in a while. And I just saw a thing on TikTok. It pop off. How we doing on time, Mod?
We got about like 6 minutes left, 6.5 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be a good.
So let's take a break right now, guys, because we're about to get into the third fight, which is Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler. And I really wanted us to do some actual what's it called, fight companion for those. So we'll kind of be just talking as the fight's going on and kind of chatting, and then we may get on other topics as these go on. So cool. Sure. All right, guys. See you in a bit. All right, guys. Coming in. I'm going to mute the TV right now so we don't get in trouble with the audio from the fights. But we're on the third fight into the main card right now with Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler. Thanks, Mod.
Nate has a very strong voice and he forgets it.
It's just loud. So first round's about to start right now. This is a 155.
Oh, if you're wondering why I changed, it's because it was getting hot.
I'm sure, bro. Crazy thing with this fight is that this is potentially a number one contender depending on their how, like what show they put on. Michael Chandler had fought Charles Oliveira a couple fights ago and almost had him knocked out. And then so both of these guys fought the last champ, which is Charles Oliveira, but Charles just lost to Islam Makhachev. So now he's the new 155 champ. Which is probably a good thing for these guys because it opens up the door again because they had just lost to him, and so then it was probably going to be a longer ride back to that fight.
Right.
This is the only one that me and Nate really disagreed on. I think Chandler's going to win.
Yeah.
This.
Who do you got?
I have Dustin on this one.
Dude, Dustin's my boy, man.
Yeah, I love watching these two guys fight.
Yeah.
Especially Chandler. That dude's a freaking maniac.
Dude, he is just a balls to the wall, just like straight up. He gets after it, man.
He does get gassed though. I've noticed. Like
right.
If you could take him into later in the rounds, it seems like he loses a lot of his.
Who was the one that had him? It was Gaethje.
Yeah, it was,
bro. Gaethje put it on him.
That was a crazy.
Gaethje put it on him. Yeah.
That reminded me of that fight. Particularly reminded me of that I forget that Diego Sanchez fight.
Oh.
Where they were just brawling.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. It's like one of the fight of the years. I know what you're talking about.
Nobody's playing defense, right?
Yeah, they're just slugging the whole time. That's one of the most exciting fights I've seen in a long time. Was that Gaethje fight?
Yeah.
Chandler's got really strong wrestling. Dustin has really great takedown defense. So I think it's gonna be a standing match. It seems to played out that way so far.
I'd say probably honestly about 90% of Chandler's fights are always stand up.
He keeps it. He likes the raw. He's swinging for the fences, bro. He's
got this. You know what's
Dustin
interesting is because
right now.
he's small. So
he's swinging for the fence
the way he has to throw, he has
you need
to get
out
close.
of that corner. You got to get out of that corner, Dustin.
The only problem with this is I love watching these guys go this hard, but his punches become very predictable, right? When he's winding up that much, Poirier can just sit back and just watch it, right?
Yeah, he's finding his.
I will say, if Chandler hits him, he's got enough power in that hand to put him out.
Did he catch him?
He just caught,
he caught him with that right?
Yeah.
He's throwing some haymakers. He always comes out the hottest in the first round, dude. If you get out of the first round with Michael Chandler, you're in a good spot. You're in a better spot. But man, I don't know very many people that come out as hot as Michael Chandler does.
Agreed.
Yeah,
he's aggressive. He's a controlled aggressive too. It's not just he's very meticulous, and then but he gets gas, and then you see things like this where.
Well, and then Dustin's usually trying to. They headbutted each other right now.
He's piecing him up.
The one thing is, Chandler is landing some big rights, dude. He's hitting about 4 or 5 big rights.
There you go.
And
Mike just took him down. Oh, bro, he hit him with some big ones right there.
You know what I always kind of think about is, let's see, Chandler's 36, just about,
and Dustin's 33. Yeah.
So.
Oof.
He might have the armbar, right?
Oh.
You know what's crazy is
he about to go?
He's probably been fighting like this his entire life,
bro.
Right?
How are you 36 with this much wear on those tires?
Well,
bro?
not only that, but can you imagine how many coaches have probably told him to chill out, in the first round, hey, don't waste all of your energy right away.
He got his back.
Michael Chandler's got. It looked like he was about to take his back.
I'm not gonna lie, though, I couldn't even get out of bed this morning. I was sore. My shoulders were hurting and everything. I'm like, dude, I just turned 30. Fuck.
It's only downhill from here, sir.
Yeah, bro.
These guys know. I go hoop and I keep popping my calves, and so we talk about this all the time. I'm like, dude, what is going on? And then so these guys are over here, and he's
Michael Chandler is mauling Dustin right now.
It's the first round though. We talk about
The one thing is that Dustin, especially if he gets
that was a weird.
Bro, he was Dustin telling me, yo, I missed you. But
Dustin looks good though. Did he catch him with that uppercut?
Here it is, dude. Oof. That was a big one. Oh,
they're both
wobbly right now. Dustin him with a big right hand.
Oh, he's barely
Chandler's wobbly right now.
Chandler,
he's eating him,
You got 18 seconds, Dustin.
You better grab him.
You got 18 seconds, my boy.
I want to see another round of this.
Put him out, dude.
He's got to put his hands up. There you go.
Dude, he's sitting in there. Oh, let's go.
Dude,
come on.
Dude, he is leaking, bro. Look at him.
Chandler's not going to know what's going on.
Right there. Bro, he got out by the skin of his teeth right now.
Hey, something happened there. Did you see how mad Dustin was?
No, dude, they've been going at it the whole time. They have bad blood coming into this fight.
Oh, I didn't realize
No,
that.
yeah, dude, they've been going off for weeks, and I don't know.
That felt personal, though.
Oh, no, I don't know. You know what it is? I feel bad, too, because I normally am more informed as to what the beef is.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what their beef is, but they've been beefing for, weeks. Oof. Dude, he has that full
nose is broken. He's got a big old gash on top of his left eyebrow.
Bleeding out. Yeah, dude.
That was interesting because it almost looked like Dustin caught him with an elbow right at the end. So I'm almost wondering if that's what broke his nose. Well, I don't know if his nose is broken, but.
Bro, Dustin ate some big shots, dude. He had 4, 5, 6 just straight up.
He's hitting him so hard that even with his defense, he's getting.
Yeah, they're going through. They're
dude.
He's got the glove up in right now, and he's still getting some of those in. Oof, that one was close.
Right here.
Dude,
That was
that
right
was the
that
one
caught
that
him.
put him down, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Dustin with an absolute just haymaker.
Well, I think he was wobbly. Literally that last 35, 40 seconds.
Bro,
'Cause
he's hanging, he's on the fence
see that?
for balance wise.
He got that elbow out.
Yeah. All right, we're going into the second round right now. We got 4:53 here. Whew. Chandler is. This Dustin lives here, man. I think if Dustin wins this fight, there might even be a chance where they're gonna do the Volkanovski and Makhachev fight.
Right.
But like whoever's the winner of that could end up fighting. Dustin might be able to. Oof.
I almost feel like they're gonna turn that Volk Islam fight into like a trilogy.
Dude, I hope it doesn't.
They almost have
You know,
to.
they
right?
will. They will if it's a close fight. If one of them just dominates,
Yeah.
I will say that I think Volkanovski is going to be in for a rude awakening, having to come up. But he's kind of he's just an interesting guy because the dude used to weigh like 200 pounds and then like
Former rugby player.
yeah, former
like,
rugby player, dude. So you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, oh man, I've been at this weight before.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's interesting though? I've seen an evolution in Volk's style though.
Dude,
Because at first it was just like brute force, almost like your Gaethje, right?
Dude.
That just like he'll eat it, but he'll also like piece people up. But now you watch him,
Dude,
like
he's a
pretty
tactician.
calculated.
He's the strongest guy. He's oh my god, dude.
What was that?
What was that, dude? I've never
Was that
seen.
Dustin?
That was like the thing. No, that was coming from Chandler, and literally Chandler dropped the biggest
It's coming
glob of blood I've
Look at that.
ever seen.
It's forehead.
Oh man, he's literally.
Oh my
dude! I'm telling.
goodness,
Oh, it's his nose. It's his nose. Literally, Dustin's having to wipe it off his face, dude. What the hell? Oh no. So
There's no way.
Chandler is got his back. He's trying to get a rear naked choke on Dustin right now. He's trying to cover his face. This is a bad spot, dude, because he's literally going to be fighting this whole entire time to try to keep him off.
Well, the other problem is he's going for the rear naked, but with that much blood
Dude,
in play,
you're super slippery.
Yeah, you're not going to lock that in. That's just not going to happen.
Super. Oh, this is actually a good play because he tried to get him over his. Trying to get. Dustin was trying to get him to fall over.
You know what's really interesting though, man? He's given up his back like this entire fight.
Dude, this is not a good spot. He's actually looking like that. Is that in? Oh shit!
Nah,
it's over the. It's over the mouth. It's over the chin. So
He doesn't have the legs locked in. That's a problem, right?
no. See,
He's
he's not under the chin. See how he's trying to crank it. Sometimes, like for instance, Khabib choked out Conor over the chin, but it's because he was so strong. He was just able to put like this crazy neck, like face crank on him. But not very many dudes can do it, and so usually it's not a problem unless he gets that elbow underneath his chin. And right now, it's sitting over right now.
I honestly can't remember a fight that was this bloody in a long time.
Dude, you know who used to put on the bloodiest fights? Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
They were like 170 pound fighters. Robbie Lawler was like the champ for the really like the longest time, but they just the bloodiest. And then Nate Diaz always used to gash open his eyebrow. Like
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I wonder if he had surgery. He was supposed to have it to like fix his eyebrow or something like that. They were supposed to do something.
Speaking of Nate Diaz, he's
He's
quite the hot
out of the
commodity.
contract.
Yeah, well, he's kind of a hot commodity too, though, because he went out on a win, and he's basically kind of ushering in a new UFC fighter mentality post career, or let me jump into a second portion of a career.
I thought they were going to try to set up the Jake Paul fight with him.
I was gonna say he's basically at that point where he's built enough legend and like a following that he could perhaps pursue
for
fights
considering
like
his
that.
record, he has one of the most like he has so much clout in the. What's going on right now?
I think they're. Oh, hold on.
I don't know. He's the Michael Chandler's talking to him. Dude, Dustin is in a bad spot right now.
Yeah, he's not.
Are they mentioning it like behind the head?
Oh, thank God.
Could be. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that might have been what he was telling him. Dude, that gets so dangerous. I saw some boxing match where this kid, like this really
Dude.
that really young, good looking kid, like was up and coming boxer,
Yep.
and then this guy that was fighting him kept punching him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And then you had like a traumatic brain injury.
Yeah,
and,
that's crazy.
Man,
Lost
that broke my
everything.
heart, dude.
Lost everything. Yeah.
Like lost it. I'm so sad.
I actually just recently watched a update on him, and he's actually doing pretty decent.
Is
like
he doing better?
He's starting to like do better with his mobility
Oh,
and his like comprehension of things. He's just in a much better spot, but it's heartbreaking, man. And
Dude,
like
that one gets me. Dude, I cried the first time. Like,
yeah,
I feel like I'm a big baby now because I definitely like. I get way more emotionally invested in things like more than I ever have. I don't know why, but like I'll watch something on TikTok or Instagram or something, and I'm just like, that is just like,
Dude, that's the thing
me in
is
the
like you
feels,
become
man.
more aware of like who you are and things. I think.
yes, man. Ollie's always sending me stuff that I'm like fucking getting teary eyed over here. I was like, Ollie, you won't do me
it's
like
good.
this. I'm at work right now. You got me all in my feels.
oh yeah, no,
I got
it's
something in my eye.
someone cutting onions. No, it's I'm the same way, man. It ain't nothing wrong with it either, bro. I'm not even playing around, man. We'll be watching something on like Netflix, right? And it's like literally like Love Is Blind or something like, and I'm over here just bawling, dude. I'm like, what's going on? Why would they do that? That's hilarious.
Ooh, what's that fight? Lewis and Spivak. I don't know Spivak that well.
Lewis fell to number 7.
7? Wow.
Dude, 7. He used to be like consistently in the top 3. I'm not the biggest fan of Lewis, to be honest with you. He's
His fight style is not one of.
I just get mad at him because I'm like, I don't. He was one of those dudes that were sheer like they're purely off of like one punch power. Didn't seem like he was training, and then like, he would admit that he wasn't training. But I think he was injured there for the longest time too. He had like back issues, but it was one of those things where. But he was always top 5. He'd be getting killed for the whole 3-4 rounds, and then 3-4-5 rounds, and then he'd blast them, knock him out with like a minute left.
I can say that his fight style is definitely like brawler. Let me just throw as many haymakers as I can. But he is literally one of the most entertaining people to follow on social media.
Really?
He
Oh
posts
my
the
God.
craziest stuff.
Does he?
Yeah, if you want like just a quick laugh,
Oh my God.
go to his page and you'll be laughing the whole
Oh
time.
my God. I gotta follow him.
And it's
man.
not usually like stuff of him. It's just stuff that he like
Random
reposts.
stuff. Yeah.
But it's just funny because like every time you can tell like someone's hurt themselves.
Oof.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. I thought he was gonna, like,
no.
jackknife him, dude.
Dude.
So
Oh, and then he ended up on the bottom.
Oh no.
Oh my God! So Michael Chandler picked up Dustin Poirier and was about to dump him. He like picked him up to the heavens, and then somehow
Chandler's a
came
strong
down.
man.
Oh,
Gave up his
Dustin's
back.
on his back. Ooh, let's go to work, Dustin. Come on now.
See, that's what I was talking about. See how he's got his leg locked in? That's
Yeah,
what Chandler didn't have earlier,
yeah,
right?
the body triangle.
Yeah.
It's nasty too because then he's not going anywhere. He's gonna sit on him there that whole time.
Yeah, really. The only way he can get out of this is if he literally just flies backwards.
Could he roll forward?
I've seen some crazy stuff where they've
Yes,
gotten
he
up.
could, right? Yeah.
That's how actually Dustin got him off earlier. He dumped him and he actually had his.
Oh, he's cranking.
Oh, no.
It's in.
Oh,
It's
no,
in, dude. It's
I
in.
think
It's
yeah.
in. He's tapping.
Man.
Woo! Let's go,
Called it.
DP boy. DP.
Damn. I would like to see them run it back though, because
Oh, I love that.
That was quite the fight, man.
I will say that I am always excited about these, like both of these dudes fighting.
Oh, he's still talking.
He's still
dude.
mad. I'm surprised he didn't keep it on a little bit longer. Like he didn't hold that a little bit long.
I'm not trying to kill
Bro,
him.
they were going at it at the. I mean, he was chomping at the bit. I gotta look to see what the beef was about because like that's gonna kill me. He's still jawing at him. Dude, that nose is broken. Dude, it was like gushing in the last round. When you stepped away,
yeah.
he was just pouring on him.
Okay, we gotta transfer the footage.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, transfer over our stuff, and then get ready for the next fight. It's gonna be a little bit of a break because it usually takes a while for them to get the next fight going when it ends early. Cool. All right, guys. So we are coming in here, second to last fight, the co-main with Carla Esparza and Weili Zhang.
No, Zhang Weili. Right?
No, but aren't you supposed to say it the other way? Don't you have to say the thing backwards?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you?
Yeah, aren't you? I don't want to. I don't want
I
to
don't
see.
know.
I don't want
I
to see
really don't know.
insensitive with like how you pronounce do Asian names where you say like one first before the other. But
well, I'll just refer to
or is that
name.
Japanese? I don't. Don't follow me for that. We'll come back. But so who do you got winning this one? We already talked
Wei Li.
about. Yeah, I got Wei Li.
I was gonna say
Dude,
zombie.
I think Wei Li's gonna dominate.
Yeah.
I think Wei Li's about to.
To that point, though, Carla is actually a very interesting fighter. She figures out a way to win, dude.
We talked about this on the last pod. She's a real good at wrestling, and so sometimes her fights can get really boring. But I want to tell you, Wei Li is so aggressive, whereas I think that Rose Namajunas. Were you here with that fight? Mm-hmm. Bro, tell me that was like one of the
Literally the worst fight. I've ever seen.
one of the worst fights. We said it on the last.
Yeah. I didn't know how to describe it other than I was like.
But I think Wei Li is so aggressive. She's going to be the one that's like pushing the pace.
Right.
So I don't think that Carla can run, and I don't think she's strong enough that Carla can't really wrestle her either. So I think it's going to become a striking match, and I don't think that they're in completely different leagues. But
Well, and I think it's also a fact that, like you're saying, is one's actually going for the knockout, and the other one's trying to point it out. Right? She's straight going for points.
Bro, if Carla wins though, man, this would have been one that I'm going to put $50 down for her, and then like if you win, bro, tell me she's not the underdog. She's the underdog.
310.
Yeah, dude.
I'm telling you, if Carla wins, she's putting something in their water before because Rose was like
she's
cuckoo.
looking ice cold. She's looking focused.
She looking like everyone's
Stoic,
doubting me.
man.
Yeah.
Stoic.
You know what? That's the face everyone's gonna have on their wall after this fight if she wins. You know,
Man.
they should make that an emoji.
Bro, I was just about to say that's gonna be a meme though if like she wins this fight, she's like,
You know what-
or she loses this fight.
If I recall correctly, Wei Li lost twice to Thug Rose in
Thug
1
Rose.
year.
Yes.
Right? In 1 year.
Yep.
Dude.
And that was, can you imagine her confidence, dude? It probably went down.
Bro, well the first one
Tremendously.
knockout, second one like close, like went the full 5 rounds, but still.
She should not have won. Thug Rose totally got handed a victory, dude.
Dude, that one was. I had that one up in the air because it was so close that I had it split.
That's
and
al-
I
that's
gave
always
it
my thing,
split
like-
to Rose, but I can easily see Wei Li winning that too because I wasn't upset at whoever won that fight because it was
Yeah.
such a good. It was so back and forth.
That's always my thing when you fight the champ, though. You can't leave it up to the judges. Like, I feel like if you got to beat them, you know what I mean? Like, if you guys are gonna if it's gonna be like a draw, they always are gonna give it to the champ.
We are at 4 minutes 42 seconds. I'm just doing that so maybe if I end up throwing in a timer,
Yeah.
so we might be able
Oh,
to put that.
we never said the date today. Anyway, like I mean, I feel like it's a given, but
I think it's a given because of the.
it's
But it's
11/12,
11/12,
2022.
2022.
Yeah, yesterday was 11/11.
Yeah, that's a good day. That's my favorite number.
Oh, this is. I don't know, dude. I'm telling you, bro. I can't imagine Esparza winning that. That's so sad to say about a champ.
Man,
Oh,
it's
nice little
it's
jab.
looking like Carla's putting up a fight right now.
Carla's
she
Carling.
she looks spry.
she
She
looks
looking-
a lot better
she
in this
looks-
fight than she did
Right?
against Rose.
I was going to say, she looks, yeah.
She looking like she got some spunk in her today.
Because against Rose, it was a very methodical. I'm just gonna sit back here and let Rose do her own thing.
I think hopefully it was that was just because of the game plan with Rose, and
Yeah.
it was basically like Rose is gonna wait for a counter, and maybe that was why she wasn't that aggressive previously, and now she knows that Wei Li is gonna bring it to her, so she better be ready. But Wei Li's got Esparza on her heels. Oof.
Ooh, nice left.
That was a left cross, it looked like, that landed. Ooh, high kick.
It's good defense, though.
And yeah, looking spicy right now.
She's playing it smart. She's just feeling out the first couple of touches.
Wei Li's throwing, dude.
Oof.
You guys noticing that 1-2 and then left leg
Yeah.
coming across?
I think that Wei Li puts her out in the first 2 rounds is what I called it.
You did, yeah.
So we'll see if she can.
You know, what's interesting about Esparza's fight style is she really doesn't throw a ton of jabs, right, throughout the fight.
Bro, she
Like,
doesn't throw any hands at all.
Yeah, like she
she'll
just like
grind out some wins. I told Mario that I think she not runs, but fight style is not the most entertaining because it's a lot of grappling.
Yeah. Well, and it's the thing is like, right, like you always read about how most fighters will feel out that distance, right? Because they want to get a feel of what their partner or their opponent is, the distance they're keeping.
Right leg kick to the face, 2 of them almost in a row.
Oh boy.
This is kinda
Weili looks like she almost has her back. She's trying to get that leg over, which I'm surprised. Yeah. She's trying to get the body triangle, but didn't work.
Oh, goodness.
Man, some nasty. Oh, she has her in a crucifix. Oh, and it's out. Oh. Sorry, audience.
This is a nice little scramble.
This is and now Weili's got her back.
She's got that tight, dude.
Bro, it's not quite under. It looks like a crank right now. Oh, but she had to let go of it. But she's trying to get a body triangle. Weili's got her on the ground. They're gator rolling right now. Oof. Esparza's now got top position. I mean, this is if Carla were to win, this is definitely the place that she would. She's got top position on the ground.
Yeah, she's getting some pretty solid little shots in too.
Yeah, it's pretty 50-50 this round. It's crazy.
That's
how
how
she
you'll
ended
win
up
a
on
round
top.
too.
I don't even know how she ended up on top. But this is why I couldn't be a fighter or a UFC fighter at least. Like I would have
bicycle kicks up here. She's trying to get to her. Ooh. Oh my God! I thought if she'd have thrown the right cross, she'd have gotten her. If Esparza Carla would have thrown that right cross as she was coming up, she would have.
That was
teeter
wide open, dude.
I don't know why she didn't throw it. She threw it, and maybe she threw it where she was expecting to be, but I was like, man, it looked like it was there for the taking. Body shot. Those will pay dividends later.
Weili did not seem as refined as I would have imagined her being on the ground. Like she almost looked like she was panicking, right?
Ooh. Oh wow.
I think she's so strong that she's like this little force of nature sometimes. So then she's like scrambling. She's like almost trying to power through some of the. She's not. Sometimes with the jiu-jitsu, they're methodically going through the placement of where their hands are, the legs. They're trying to get out. She's like, I'm about to beast mode out of whatever position that you
power it out.
She sometimes, and she's so explosive that I think that allows her to get away with it.
I don't know how they do that, dude. My knee would have been gonzo from that twist that she did. I thought
she was gonna try to get an arm bar on Weili.
Listen, folks, I ain't know.
Who'd you guys get? So end of the first round. Who'd you guys think got that round?
I don't know, man. That's like 50-50.
I have Weili.
I think Weili had it by a bit. If Carla would have kept the top position longer and had just
yeah, you could say Weili by like a point.
Ground control. What's up?
Like a point.
Yeah, that was a 10-9 round Weili.
She got her down to the ground, but she wasn't very effective, right, Esparza?
Yeah.
And then the second attempt, it was just basically a rollout, and then she caught some elbows and jabs. So.
Bro, that right cross was that right.
That was weird.
I was like, because she went in through the punch and she she threw it to the left. It seemed like, and it was there, dude. It looked like it was wide open on when she was trying to get back up from the ground.
I almost feel like she wasn't expecting it to be there, right? Like she threw it, but
she
half-heartedly.
almost threw it expecting her hand to be up, and her hand wasn't up when she was getting up.
Like there's supposed to be a counter or something.
Yeah. I wish they would show that. Man, those in between rounds are so fast, dude. Kudos to these absolute phenomenal athletes because their endurance has got to be amazing.
I'm tired of watching them. This is, again, my knees are already hurting, and I'm not even. I'm telling you, dude, my knee would have been gonzo. I don't know how she twisted her knee that way. Hey, Aaron, whoever that was, tweeted.
Yeah,
a lot of people are saying
they're showing the Twitter feeds right now, and it looks like everybody's saying,
"Ooh, interesting."
Oh, look at that guy. What did he say? If Zhang doesn't finish in the second round, this is going to get very interesting from conditioning. Bro, Weili's conditioning's phenomenal. She went, oh, this looks like a reverse crucifix. I wonder if she's going to try to roll her.
I think what they're saying, though, is since...
roller. Oh, it's over, dude. I don't know what this is. This is the Wanda's Thunderhold right now. Looks like she has this is like a crucifix choke. I've never seen this. What is this?
How do you tap?
It's not deep enough. She can't put enough pressure, but she might have to abandon it for that. Yep. She let go of the arm.
Oh,
she tapped her.
She tapped.
What'd I say? But I thought it was. I said a
good call.
I said a TKO before the first round or the second round, but it was a chokeout. So GG's.
And to Mario's point, she didn't leave it up to the judges.
She didn't leave it up to the judges.
Yeah.
That's up.
You know what though? I feel bad because we don't have very much like Hispanic representation. So Carla, shout out to Carla.
Yes.
Good try.
You got more balls than me, man.
You're doing amazing things. I'm being hypercritical for somebody. We're just going based off of at least who we thought would have won. So.
Yeah, no,
but not still a fan of you, Carla. You do your thing, girl.
I don't know how you get in there and do it. I wouldn't do it.
Whaley's just a tough fight, man. Whaley's just
she's crazy,
absolute
dude.
Monster.
Oof.
This is gonna be a weird thing to say. I don't know if Carla retires right now. I wouldn't be that surprised.
How old is she? Pretty old.
She'd been doing this a while because she was a champ of a couple of different organizations for a long time. Like I think she did like. She was like a champ for, I can't remember what other organization, but I remember seeing her in a couple belts.
She set that up really good. As soon as she got her arm underneath her.
Bro,
the mistake, so the issue was right there. Her right arm is completely out of play. She's already got one hooked around her neck. The only thing she could have done is try to hold on to Whaley's fingers.
She had like a crucifix, and usually what happens is people just start like reining it in. But instead of her reining in, she just had the choke already set up, and so all she did is let go of the other because it was almost set up, and then she let go of that left arm or whatever, and then just sunk it in, dude.
The only thing she could have potentially done is like try to throw her legs over her body and try to roll out of it, but there was no getting out of that.
What's going on right here? It's a messiest. GG was definitely a good fight. How we doing on time, Lad?
Oh, we're only at 13 minutes.
Okay.
We can stop and come back.
We can. Is there anything else that we wanted? We could do the Hoopers thing.
Oh yeah.
Maybe 5 is too many, but let's do maybe 3. 3 skills for Hoopers. Given that I'm the most injured reserve right now, I feel like I don't have anything to say. So we'll let you guys start off, and I'll chime in.
I'll let Ali go first because I have one that I don't know.
For context. Ollie is our resident sniper. Literally pull up from, he's our Steph Curry. He's, pretty much crossing half court and he's in range. Yeah. So we've dominated many of rec games where I don't think they were expecting us to put it on them.
No.
And
some good hoopers too. They're just like they underestimate us all the time.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, what's that saying, right? You throw it up enough times, it'll go in.
Yeah, man. Well,
you miss 100% of the shot.
No. Yeah. It's a very interesting question. I think we're all like total b-ball heads and connoisseurs at heart, right?
I think we all have a little bit different games. So
yeah, no, that's definitely true. I would say, when we're looking at like 3 really like fundamental traits any hooper should have, I'd definitely say court awareness is probably one of the biggest things.
Dude, that's literally
number one.
Yes.
For me, number one.
It's number one for me because, and this is something that me and Mario have talked about a lot, but like I was a point guard, so I'm literally constantly, and I was also like usually the number one defensive stopper. So it was like if we had a box and one or triangle and 2 or whatever, I was the one running around, or like if we were doing like where I was at the head of the the zone defense. So it was one of those things where just court awareness on defense or offense, that's for sure huge, which is difficult to teach.
100%. Yeah, I think it comes. There's going to be some like innate understanding of the game that you just naturally have, but I think secondarily, having that court awareness will get you out of so many sticky situations and really propel your team in so many other situations, right? And I think what goes hand in hand with that is just basketball IQ in general, right? So
we could do those. We'll do them as a slash.
Yeah, we'll do.
This is one. Yeah,
and then I would say probably one of the other big things too, and we're almost talking about like the almost the intangibles right now, right? So we're I would say mental fortitude, right?
Yeah.
Basketball is an extremely mentally tasking game.
Great.
And I think it's, I'm just trying to draw back to the most recent thing that I can think of where that came into play. And it was actually the other day where Mario and I were playing at the community center. I think we had gone down
I think you told me about this game.
Yeah, it was like 28-19 or something, and then our team ended up coming back and winning. And I was like, and I in my head mentally, I was like already like, do I want to try this hard to like win the game? But then I was like, nah, we have a fighter's chance. But I think I would say probably the third trait that is extremely fundamental and important would be just knowing your limitations. I think a lot of times hoopers get in trouble by trying to overcommit on defense or trying to do something that's just not in their bag, right? So they'll try to cross over and do a Euro step and go lay it up. Meanwhile, they're 5'3" and they're going to get swatted, right? Or they just do something that's just completely out of pocket that doesn't really make sense. Like, you got to be confident in who you are in 100% of the time.
I think being able to own your role.
Own
your role. Like play within your game. I think that's a great thing because I think
all you can hit is corner threes. Be the best corner three
shooter.
Be the
best
there.
D and 3. That's a great.
And it's just you see it a lot, right? And especially when we play with like people we don't really know, it's almost hard to like figure them out because they don't know themselves,
right?
And like for us, we're a little bit more like intellectual when we analyze the game. Even when we're in the first couple of plays of a game, it's hard to determine because you're like, wait, so I just saw him pull 5 feet away from the 3-point line, but now he's driving and bumping bodies with everyone else. Like, what's going on? What kind of player are they?
Yeah,
but those were kind of the first that came to my mind. How about you guys?
You hit for me, the first one was IQ. Like basketball IQ and awareness.
Because you can learn that. Like it obviously comes with playing time.
It's so like for me, it comes with playing time. It comes with like just understanding of the game, and like I think sometimes people get focused on certain things.
Yeah, and
like I don't know. For me, I would say that I'm unselfish on my offense. Like I'm going to take just as much enjoyment on me hitting a behind the back pass to like an open person for a layup as I am a bucket. Like, to be honest with you, sometimes even more enjoyment. And so like half the time my thing is like floor general. I'm moving somebody to go look at whoever that's at the 3-point line, but I'm actually having them move over there because I want to hit this guy and do a no look pass because he has an open like cut to the basket. And so it's like one of those things where that's one super tough. That's what I was saying. It's tough to teach unless somebody's actually walking you through it. Like, hey, like for me to teach somebody, I'd have to be like, so the reason why I did this was because of this. Or on defense, I'm like, do you see how he was here? You should be at least at the minimum this far down so that you can sprint out. If you here, but you're looking at this guy, and then you're not paying attention to the dude in the corner. They're going to either hit the 3 or they're going to cut to the basket for an open layup. And that's one thing that, like, if you haven't played or you haven't had somebody explain that to you, it's tough. So it's definitely, So that would be one for me. What about 2 for you?
So this isn't, I don't know if it's but I would say you need to be self-driven, right? So what I mean by that, I guess, is like a lot of times the things that you're going to learn, like you have to learn on your own. Like a coach can tell you or someone can tell you how things are going to go down, but only until you do them that you're going to actually learn these things. But you have to practice them at some point, and I think it's important to always have that drive to go in and do things on your own and do them by yourself. Right? Like I never realized how important that was. So like when I was in high school, I didn't really spend any time in the gym in terms of like lifting or doing things. I always just thought like, oh, I'm going to get in shape during basketball season and it'll be fine. And that's enough. I didn't realize how important it was to like have that.
You got to do all the prep work, man.
Yeah.
One thing I will tell you, if you're in high school right now and you're watching this, or you're just a young dude, like trying to get into basketball, if you're in high school, I will tell you, you may not get to the NBA, you may not get to college, or you may. Yeah. But the thing that's going to set you apart is doing all the things that you need to do, studying film, trying to watch some of the games, trying to see what, even if you can talk to your coach and be like, hey, coach, can we watch the game together and can we go over like what was going on and you tell me maybe where I should have been or what could have set us up better.
Yep.
Going to the gym, getting your shots up. Going to the weight room, getting your strength up, your conditioning up. And I will tell you, don't don't lose out on the opportunity that you have in high school, in middle school, whatever like position you are right now, because it's a blink, man.
Yeah,
it's a blink.
Really
High school is gonna blink through, and you're gonna say, oh well, I was playing video games with friends, I was out doing whatever, and if that's what you want to do, that's fine too. But if you want to be really serious about basketball and you want to get to the next level, like you really do need to take it seriously.
Yeah, I took that for granted because I guess I just, like I said, I never realized how important that was. And then I found that drive within myself as I got older. And then I saw myself doing things.
And you regret? And you're like, I wish I would have done it.
I don't say I regret, because I wouldn't be who I am today. Like if I had, you know what I mean? I don't really try to like live with regret. But I will say I wish I would have known sooner how valuable that was. And so for me, it's more so like, now that, again, we talk about paying it forward. Mm-hmm. This is part of that, like paying it forward. I try to tell people, hey man, here's why you should take advantage of this, and here's what you should know. And so like I try to give advice from my perspective of just like someone who kind of missed out a little bit, because as much as my situation in high school wasn't like all my control, what I could have controlled was I could have been so good that they had to play me, right? Like there was no option for them not to play me. And I didn't become that good until after high school. And like if people saw me play now, they would think like, oh man, how did this guy not play in high school? But I definitely was a lot slower, and I didn't have that experience that I could have gained by working on my own. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if looking back on it, I should have made myself so good to the point where they were like, dude, we cannot not play this guy, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think,
had to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, to your point too, I think what if I could piggyback off of it for a moment, you're saying is you need to establish that discipline early on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like,
I was undisciplined like crazy.
That makes sense, right? Like, cause like you're saying is if you create those foundational beliefs in yourself, and like you train yourself to think a certain way, that's where that mental fortitude comes in. That's where I
wasn't mentally tough either. Like I was pretty weak mentally. Yeah.
And you hear about these NBA players that didn't make the varsity team, how to get on the grind, how to get in the lab, how to go, how to be better to make the team. And then, they hit their stride, they made whatever, breakthroughs in their game, and they ended up making it to the league. And it's just one of those things, like, even if you want to even if you're doing it so you can get a full ride for scholarship, so you can go to school, like you're going to go to school and get an education. Maybe you might not make it to the NBA, but you're going to get a full ride. At least try to make the most of it, because it's one of those things that, like, it's not everybody comes. Not everybody has the academics to do it. Not everybody has the money to go to certain places. But maybe this is the one thing that's going to allow you to get to, set yourself up better for life.
And then it's cool. Like, I don't know. I guess like I don't know if I really have like 3 top things that everyone should know, but everything that we talked about are definitely things that if no one's ever said those to you, like you need to find some better people. Like no offense, like you need to find some better people around you in terms of like basketball knowledge, because I'm telling you, like the best things I ever learned as far as basketball, like as much as like people told them to me and I heard them, you don't really know until you know, right? Until you've experienced that stuff. So like, that mental fortitude and that strength and that like determination and then even just like the IQ and all that comes with time and playing and like seeing it happen in front of you and you putting the work and putting it into play. So work on yourself, work on your game. Just be out there. But the best thing you can do for yourself, I think, is like give yourself a chance, right? And so, but fundamentals, man. Oh, a really good pump fake too, I would say. But like we talk about like fundamentals. Like I would say like the best thing I learned early before like anybody else, because that was another problem I had. I was super good young, and then I kind of just rode that off until like everyone caught up, and I didn't realize like you have to continue to grow. There's some other things that happened too, but learning how to dribble, so important with right and left hands. When I was killing kids.
One thing I will say too is, I think I think all 3 of us have an interesting take on coaches. I never had like a solid coach.
No, me either.
Like I never had a solid coach, and even the last coach that I had was probably the most solid. But
let me say this: I never had a solid head coach in high school. Like
good. That's a great, because actually there was some solid.
I had a solid JV coach, and the other assistant wasn't actually my coach, right? He was an assistant coach. He was never my head coach. They were solid, but in terms of like a head coach, like C team and varsity,
Well, let me ask you guys this. So, and maybe people watching this are probably asking the same thing: is what makes a coach solid, right? Like, because to your point, I mean, I understand as a hooper, I know what you guys are saying, but maybe we might have people that are relatively new to the game. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's so. For in terms of my my coaches there was definitely some bias because there were some interesting things in play. And I'm sorry, dude, if you're watching, you know who you are. You know the coach. You know the person that it was the bias to. And the thing with that is I had to be undeniable in terms of he had to play me. I was undeniable to play. I had to be on the court because he couldn't have me not on the court. But it got to the point, it was one of those things where, I was going to, in terms of your guys' mental fortitude that you guys mentioned, I had to be undeniable to the point where he had to play me. But also, there got to a point where I was so frustrated with the coach in terms of his play style, everything. It didn't fit our team. It didn't fit like what we were capable of, and also like he was so focused on just pure fundamentals. But we had plenty of people that were like very gifted that could have just run a more a free flowing offense, and he had this very like stable. He had this very like generic, regimented like plan, but we didn't have players for that. We had different type of players. And then so it didn't fit our play style. We had a whole bunch of athletes, and so it was one of those things that was kind of frustrated. And I'm kind of losing my train of thought but anyways, it's one of those things where you how would I say this? You have to be able to push through. And I wanted to just kind of be that fortitude because I got to the point where like coaches were like, he was riding me so much to the point where I'm just like, do I want to do this? And it's like my cousins had been pushed away from coaches. They never finished their senior years. My dad had gotten pushed away, didn't get to finish because of his coaches. And I'm like, I'm not going to get pushed away. I'm going to finish this year if I have to. Made the, all-state team. And so it was one of those things where like, I'm not going to be one of these people that the coach ultimately determined my outcome on this.
Man,
and
it was me.
But sometimes you got to just say, I got to go. I got to leave to another school because this coach is too much. So but keep that in mind. All right, guys, I think we're running short on time. We're going to switch the tape really quickly to get ready for the last fight. So give us a sec. All right. Okay.
That's my bad.
So you have Izzy, or do you not have Izzy? Who do you
Hello.
have?
Did I do it again?
I don't think so.
No, it's because this has like a volume control knob, so sometimes it turns the volume all the way down.
Oh, okay.
Just not on the input, like just what I hear from my head.
Sure.
I had Izzy.
Okay. All right. Ali, who do you have?
I have Pereira.
Yeah, Pereira. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, snap.
Okay, can I justify?
Yeah, no,
okay.
Absolutely. I want to hear it.
So he's beaten Adesanya twice.
First one, arguably, the judges gave it to him, but everybody thought that Izzy won. But he knocked him out the second time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you think about it this way, if you've read anything about Pereira, he's a big dude.
He's a monster. This is the first dude that he's fighting that is almost the same height as him, or is the same height as his.
I think they're both 6'4".
In the UFC. Yeah. So this is like stylistically, shouldn't be a ground game. Should be basically another kickboxing fight.
Right.
And these gloves are smaller than kickboxing gloves.
And perhaps one of the things that kind of bugs me a little bit is watching Izzy can be really boring at times because he's so calculated.
His latest fights have especially been because I think that he had to be because Cannonier has a nuclear warhead on his hands.
Yeah.
And so does this dude. And so he's gonna have to be very cautious because this dude's got one punch power in both hands. He's a kickboxing, he's a phenom. He was I think the glory champ for the longest time too,
right.
like a 5-time glory champ. So this is like a crazy match. I definitely think you could go either way. Mario had asked about like putting bets down on this. I was like, dude, I wouldn't. Not on this one.
Not this one.
I was like, it could easily go this guy's way. And it's one of those things. He hasn't fought anybody in the cage that has a win on him. And has put him out. He's only been knocked out once. I didn't realize. And actually, he looks taller than him. He looks 6'5".
He's got about an inch on him.
Yeah.
I think the thing that kind of bugs me though is kind of going back to our Esparza point is Adesanya very much so fights for points too.
He's so calculative.
Yeah.
It's tough, especially at this level. Like you're the champ. Did you ever watch GSP?
Of course.
Whenever he was the champ. Dude, he got to the point where he was fighting some like world beaters though, and then so he was so calculative that I used to used to drive me nuts because GSP would jab them to death. He
Yeah.
had like a really clean left jab and would just do it the whole fight.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so you ended up, some of the fights weren't as entertaining, and I wouldn't expect this one to be a slobber knocker unless Pereira just brings it to him.
Another fighter that comes to mind, just thinking about that same concept, is Anderson Silva. Towards the end of his career, he became so calculated.
Oh yeah,
that it was just like almost boring to watch.
It's tough. It's tough at that. Once you're fighting those, just absolute monsters, and it's like I can't go out on a limb. I can't get too crazy because if they.
Oh
dude,
my
Pereira
goodness!
He threw that left high kick so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, sorry guys.
As I throw F-bombs and S-bombs all the time.
Bro, I gotta figure out how to bleep them out. We're gonna
we're gonna
find
mouth.
out how to
I
do
know. I've never shied away from it. I'm honest. Like, I just kind of embrace it. One of the realest.
Dude, he throws those left high kicks fast. Oh, that was a good body kick by Adesanya that snuck in there. Oh, he tried to do a crane kick or crescent kick because it looked like he threw it and then he kind of like whipped it around.
Hey, bro, we talked about this. Like, when he switches, they basically keeping it kickboxing right now.
Dude, I told you it's not gonna. Oof. Adesanya actually kind of landed a nice right overhand.
It's not only that he caught him, but I think he also got his leg underneath too, so that's why he stumbled a little bit.
Yeah. It didn't look like he was like wobbly. But it did look like he got him off balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Adesanya is the only one that wears.
I was wondering why he wasn't going for that. Yeah, I was just about to say that left inside kick. That's so crazy. I was just about to say that.
They both have very similar stances.
They got that kickboxing stance, very upright.
This is the problem, man. Adesanya starts running every time.
It's gonna the problem is this dude's big. He can't get cornered because he's not gonna be able to get out.
Right.
So he's really got to be pretty elusive. But Pereira is actually the one pushing the pace. He is the one that's like he's tracking him down. Bro, this is such a it's one of those things where you're like literally any moment somebody can get knocked out depending on how clean the shot is. And these gloves are small, and these dudes kick really hard. Dude, I feel like I thought Pereira was a little bit taller, and he looks an inch to two taller than him. Or maybe he just stands a little bit more upright than...
Yeah, I think for sure, even when they're brought to the center of the ring to touch gloves, you could tell he had some height on him.
Oh, man, both of them threw right there.
Problem is when he accelerates like that, do you see Adesanya's jab coming across right away? Like he was waiting for him to walk into it. Yeah.
Oof. This is like highest level chess match on these dudes because they're just like Jesus.
You know what's interesting though? Beginning of the fight, Adesanya had the center of the ring. Now we're completely flipped already.
Yeah,
which is good, right?
This fits his style too more because he wants to counter. I think more than Pereira wants to do. Where I think Pereira is the aggressor. He is more of the
Ooh, caught him.
He caught him with the left cross. Pereira landed a left cross. Oh my, dude! Tell me how fast he threw that.
Do you see how close that came?
He threw that like in a phone booth. They were this close, and somehow he threw that knee, dude. Insane. See, I don't think he wants to do this dirty boxing because I think that dude outweighs him at this point and is going to be able to outmuscle him. Well, Izzy's pushing him against the cage.
How about Brazil producing just phenomenal athletes?
Bro, tell me that they aren't like. First of all, the country, they have so many people. It's such a dense population, but it's also like you got to be the cream of the crop because you got to be the one to survive down there.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Izzy just landed. Oh, Izzy hit him at the end. The second one looked late.
Dude, he was out.
He was out.
Dude, the second one.
No, he was out.
He was
well, the first one. I thought he was out standing. I thought he was out cold standing.
The ref held him up.
No. What the hell's going on here?
Dude, he almost missed sitting down onto the stool.
Dude, the ref held him up, dude.
Bro,
the ref just held him up.
Poop.
What's going on here?
They're trying to get him to get as much oxygen back in, I think, dude. Bro, the same thing happened in their kickboxing fight. where there was a round on one of the fights where it was the one that he got knocked out. Actually, the ref saved him.
No, he knocked him out. I'm pretty sure the ref.
He was out on the feet, dude. If you have 5 more seconds, he's unconscious, bro. He's stumbling right there. Boom. Oh, he's out.
He's
dude.
out.
Did you call the fight? Like Izzy's almost like, did you call the fight, bro? What? Oh man, let's see how quickly this guy responds.
Oh my god.
Izzy's gonna get real aggressive, which hopefully he doesn't get caught because he's a little too aggressive. He looks good though. Homie already looks like he recovered. Pereira looks like he recovered.
Apparently, the comments online are saying that last shot by Izzy was after the.
It was late. It looked late. It looked late. Are you looking at the Twitter? You the man, bro. You the man. Thanks for Ali with the Twitter updates.
What is he doing?
Oh, he barely.
Crazy.
Oh, dude. The same thing almost happened in one of their fights though, where actually they gave him like a crazy 10 count where he was able to recover. So if he, oh man, that looked clean. That looked close. I thought he was gonna hit him with that right cross.
Wow.
Jesus. That came at a weird angle. Pereira threw like a spinning kick, and it came at a weird angle that it almost like he moved and he almost still caught him. That was a pretty crazy kick.
What's very interesting to me is these two fighters are so versatile in the sense that they can neutralize those low leg kicks so easily. Look at the lower limb, dude. It looks like it's on like a pendulum. As soon as it gets kicked, it moves out of the way and comes back.
They'll throw those crescent kicks sometimes. Where they'll throw it and then at the very end they'll like change the direction or the angle of it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
No joke. Doesn't Pereira look like that kid that was always too big for his body, and then he finally like grew into it?
I get.
You know what I mean? Like
I don't know, man. The dude looks.
I feel like he was always sturdy. Like that tall, lanky kid that everyone was like. And then he like grew into his body. He's like, what now, bitch?
Dude, they look ultra athletic.
Oh, what a left!
Caught him.
Yeah.
He slipped that in nice. I was like, it's just quick as
bro.
shit.
He needs to put him out this round. I will tell you that because
history has shown.
Well, you don't want to go to the. You don't want. Well, that's it, dude. You don't want. He's actually a little wobbly right there.
Yeah, when he starts ducking like that or tries to run, you know he's hurt.
Yep, Adesanya is actually not golden right now.
Yeah, no, he's hurting.
That's a tough left, dude. That was
some dirty boxing. Some dirty boxing here.
Look, dude, Pereira's got him pinned against a fence with a
forearm, dude. What in the world?
I don't know. I don't think that
you got to be careful when they exit. They have these exchanges whenever they're in the clinch, but the exit sometimes they'll clip them. So I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to throw. What in the? You are not trying to dump down for a double leg. Oh my god,
bro! It's so funny because remember I asked you if someone was gonna switch up the style, and
dude, I definitely wouldn't have put money on that. Adesanya would have gone for a takedown.
Not me either.
I want to see some John Jones stomping going on, dude.
Oh my gosh,
get him off the fence.
Nate hates that.
I don't like his. The
knee kicks. Yeah.
Ooh, that was a clean one. That was a straight right hand by Izzy. That one landed flush.
It's been a great fight so far, I will say.
This was way more action than I thought it was going to be because I was a little worried that it was going to. The one thing is that they're bringing actual kickboxing aggressiveness. Mm-hmm. I was worried that it wasn't going to be this entertaining because sometimes they're.
Oh, he's
up a little bit. He is slipping these punches.
Izzy's hands are so fast.
He caught him with that left again.
He caught him with a pretty decent left again. Pereira landed another left.
Do you notice?
Dude, you need to get out. You need to get there.
He's leaning into that left, and I'm wondering if Izzy's trying to set him up on one of these lefts.
Izzy's like sitting in the pocket, like almost too much in the pocket.
Pereira's got a little bit longer of a reach, I think, too, right?
Oh, he slipped.
He slipped on the mat. Oh man. I'm always surprised that Izzy's the one pushing him up against the cage, which is pretty smart. You can wear him down, especially if it goes later. Pereira really hasn't had any 5-round fights, so that would be a good to his advantage. I guess he's done longer kickboxing fights, though. Man. I wonder if we can get.
It almost looks like he's trying to set up a hip toss. You see that?
It'll give us a little bit of audio because it won't get picked up by the mics at least. So hopefully we can hear him a little bit. Oh my God! Pereira just landed a big left leg, and Izzy masked it well, but that one looked pretty flush. Oh snap!
This is how you know Izzy's hurt, man. I'm telling you, when he starts throwing jabs and weird punches like that, he's hurting because he's trying to play defense.
Whoa!
There we go. You got him.
Whoa!
There you go.
Dude, this is actually a really bad place for Izzy's on the ground. Oh my God, he might have stolen the round with that takedown, dude. He might have stolen the round with that takedown.
That's smart. Very intelligent.
Yeah, it might be 1-1 going into the third right now. So he's training with Pereira is training with not Verdum. What's his name? Teixeira. Glover Teixeira. So and Glover's like an excellent BJJ guy. So I wouldn't be surprised if he has something. Is this the one that got front? Yeah, that one landed flush. That's that big left from Pereira. This is a big right though. He did like 2 or 3 lefts right there, dude.
Completely unbroken
on the neck. If it lands flush on the jaw, he
gone.
might out. Yeah, he might be out. How we doing on time, Matt?
We're about to hit 15 minutes right now.
Okay.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm just stretching. I was like, doing a power up, guys.
Newton. You remember that commercial with the kid and Cam Newton? He's like, "What are you doing? Just warming up my arm."
Oh, I don't remember that one.
You don't remember that? Okay, well, we're gonna have to
We'll have to look up that one. I got it 1-1 probably.
I'm probably for sure 1-1 right now.
Wow, great fight.
Great. Kevin Love. Oh no, Kevin Ioli. So what?
In his defense, it did look weird on the TV. Oh man, this is crazy.
Bro, would you, if they gave you $5 million to take a leg kick to the face, would you?
Sorry,
I wouldn't, because I'd have TBI, man. There's no way. I'd be dead probably. I wouldn't be okay to spend that money.
Bro, I'd forget the whole deal before the kick. You know what I mean? Like, I'd just wake up and be like, all right, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oof.
Yeah, you can't.
Well, that was a good body shot.
No amount of money's
going to fix another great body shot. That was 3 body shots in a row.
I guess if you give me
dude.
Wow. Izzy's got control. Izzy's got side control on the ground.
Who gets pointage for that? Because it was almost like a toss into a...
I think Izzy gets it for that.
Izzy,
dude, get the body triangle. Get the body triangle. So we have 2 kickboxers that haven't been on the ground probably their entire UFC career. Maybe Izzy a handful of times. Izzy's got ground control right now. He's got his back. He's trying to get a body triangle, but he isn't able to get that leg over. Pereira's likely going to try to roll. He's going to try to roll to...
He's got pretty good defense, man.
I will tell you that Pereira, I don't think has been... I haven't seen him on the ground at all in any of his fights. So, this is no man's land for him. If Izzy were to surprisingly get a win off of this... Dude, and then Izzy doesn't have any... He can't get his leg over. There it is.
They're both playing. They're super smart.
Dude, put it on.
He's got one hook in.
Put it on him, bro.
You see, Izzy's holding on to his other wrist, so that's why he can't stand him.
Izzy's taking some shots. He's got back control.
Only way he's standing up is if he pushes up from that right leg on the ground. There's no way he can do that.
That's my knee.
Yeah.
He's not gonna.
Unless you roll back into it.
I'm surprised that he just hasn't rolled, and it's because it's just I think experience wise he's not been here. Somebody that was a little bit more
roll back into it. You think? Roll back.
I think the other problem
because there's been a couple times where I thought he was going to escape and he hasn't done it.
Don't you think though rolling is going to give Adesanya the opening he needs? So he'd probably rather stay here and let the ref stand him up. You know?
He's not, but he's active. They're not going to stand him up because he's active.
Yeah.
I guess
I'm just surprised that he hasn't tried to get up on that one knee. but I don't think he can get that foot underneath. Ooh, and then I don't think Izzy actually wants to try to. I don't even think Izzy wants to
there
get.
There you go. He stood up.
There it is. Ooh, hey man, Izzy throwing some new wrinkles in his game. Well, there it is. Uh-oh.
Dude. I thought he was going to get the ankle.
Oh, man. I thought he was going to get a knee bar right there. Whew, that was spicy.
I'm telling you, bro, my knees are already hurting.
We might have to have Mario's world-famous pudding in between one of these rounds, bro.
Dude.
I forgot I even brought it, bro. Oh, my God.
Ooh. All right, Izzy's got top control. Full guard.
Yeah,
they're gonna get him stood up. That neither of them are gonna pass. And Izzy, I think, is trying to cut him open, which I'm surprised he hasn't. Surprised. What is he doing? He's looking at somebody else.
Is he looking at the coach or something?
Yeah, like
that was weird.
Or are you looking at? Maybe he's looking at the time. The time's right behind it.
This is definitely his round. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's.
He's
trying
to choke him out.
This is a point. This is a. Dude, so if you see right now, Pereira's trying to throw his legs over his shoulder to try to get that.
Like an armbar or something?
To get an armbar, yep.
Ooh.
Let him up.
Oh, dang, dude.
Yeah, you're not going to. He's just wasting time because this is essentially his round as long as nothing goes funky. Whoa, interesting. I've never seen anybody do that. That was actually kind of cool.
Disrespectful, man. He's just stepping on him.
Oh! Izzy with closing some rounds with some big shots, man.
That was some weird.
Izzy for sure got that one. Oh, that was a big right.
Some weird. Let me show you what he did right there.
Yeah, they throw that in there though. I've seen somebody land that.
The chop, yeah,
that leg chop.
That'll freaking kill someone, dude.
Bro, if it lands flush. Pudding time.
Do you have no time?
You know what? I've always.
Do we need a break on this?
It's about to hit 20.
Oh, we have until 30 though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we should be fine until the next one.
Yeah.
Today's podcast brought to you by Mario's Pudding.
There you go, Mario's pudding.
Nate, you're on mute. Are you muted?
No. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I don't know. I thought you muted it.
Oh, okay. I did mute it for a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's banana pudding.
All right, bro. Tell us the secret in the banana pudding, bro. So Mario's is pretty much the pudding guy. We had one of our family events, and literally one of our family friends' daughters were like, "Are you the pudding guy?
Oh, you're the pudding guy? You're the pudding guy?" Yeah, I don't know if that was a good thing.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh."
So we're back to the fight, but I will say I don't give away all my secrets. I did make a video for the podcast.
He did
instructions on how to make the pudding. Condensed milk. The video hasn't got up yet. I'll probably put it out tomorrow. I need to make some edits, but you'll see our faces when we eat it here in a second.
Did you go thick or did you go light?
I wish thick.
You went thick.
Well, not as thick as like it's lighter. It's light like you like it. It's not as thick as I could have made it.
All right, cool.
So we're in round 4. Here we go.
Yeah, this is see how Pereira's doing. See if he's. They still look pretty fresh, but I haven't seen Pereira throw anything this round yet, so we'll see.
I'm gonna say knockout right here.
Bro, for who?
I'm gonna say Izzy's gonna catch him on some shit. I don't know. I just feel like Izzy's doing some things tonight. He's just in his zone. Right now, he's winning the fight. He's got at least 2 rounds on him.
Dude, did you see how close that went?
He's like literally millimeters away.
I was like, do you see? Okay. I was like, please tell me you saw that punch, dude.
Yes,
because that one was
dude.
like, I wish we had the different angle, but that one looked as close as it can be without actually touching him.
I'm saying, man, like, dude, Pereira, he's going to surprise us. I have a feeling, man. Because Izzy's almost getting cocky now after playing the ground game for a whole round. Like, he's doing weird stuff, you know?
I'm just glad that Izzy didn't gas out his arms, because sometimes they'll go into those like wrestling exchanges and then it's their arms are gassed for whatever round, and then they'll have to sit out a round essentially.
Right.
The nice thing about Izzy is he doesn't carry a lot of like muscle that's going to end up having that lactic acid build up, and then so he's not going to just man. He went 1-2-1-2 back to back and looked like he body shot. Izzy's throwing some combos on him. Went for the crescent kick.
Have you guys ever figured out why Izzy doesn't sit down in between rounds?
No,
I've
no. It was one of the things that it was a mental thing that he always thought it like demoralized the people whenever people are on the chair and they're like sucking wind and he's chilling, waiting for them. I saw one where he didn't even go to the corner. He literally went to the corner. He went in the center of the octagon, waited for them to come back, and was just like, "Come on, dude, let's go." And the guy got back to the corners like sucking wind. And I was like, "Oh my god, dude." He's piecing him up this round. But he just got to make sure that he doesn't get too flat-footed. That's the one thing is this guy's got nuclear weapons at his disposal. He will light him. If one of them land, it'll knock him out.
You guys got a good chin, man.
It's super solid. Look at the accuracy on that. 43 to 44 to 40%.
But I mean, look at the difference in the amount, right? Because you got 10 shots versus 30. That's crazy.
Oh, he went for the trip. I'm really surprised on Izzy's. Mario had asked, he's like, or do you think they're going to switch it up? And the only thing I told you is that they might do a lot of this like dirty boxing, clinching. So I'm not super surprised there. But the ground game earlier was surprising. I really didn't think he was going to get down there. See, he's still kind of just. I think he's just trying to wear on him, dude. He's literally trying to tire him out.
I think he's figured out that this is the easy way to get points, man.
I think he's putting this guy. Well, this guy hasn't been put in these positions, so he's gonna I'm gonna go put you in test you in some uncharted waters and see what you do. It's always these breaks though. They're about to split right now, and I'm surprised he didn't throw it right there. Oh.
If he went high with that left, he could
Yeah,
have got him.
I'm surprised that both of them looked open actually, and neither of them threw. Ooh,
There we go,
dude. That left jab is there, dude. That left jab, he has caught him multiple times. I'm like, dude, you need to put some space in between you because he's rangier than he's he doesn't fight anybody that's really his height most of the time. I think
that was a weird back of the knee shot.
Yeah, I seen that. It's like a weird calf kick, essentially. Ooh, that looked like on the cup. Surprised that he didn't. I'm really surprised that he's doing like this. He's just not strong enough to lift him. And he's super tall. If this was a shorter dude, probably dumps him, actually. It's just the tall dudes is like, bro, I'm still on the ground. Bro, this is the end of the fourth. Izzy probably got this round too. Oh shit! See, those are those exits that I tell you guys about, like on the way out of those clinches.
Yeah, Izzy, I think definitely has this round too.
So Pereira's got a. He actually ducked under.
Yeah,
he actually ducked under, but it looked weird.
Yeah.
It looked weird. So he has to knock him out because he's down 3-1. I have right now.
I am right there with you. It's a very, very unlikely 2-2. Definitely a 3-1.
I have a 3-1 right now, Izzy. The only thing that can, if he knocks him out or he makes it a 10-8 round where he almost knocks him out. And actually, just for clarification, they may have even given him a 10-8 round because he almost knocked, the bell saves him on the first round.
True.
So then maybe even worse of a situation.
Could be, but it was after the bell shot too, though, what it looked like.
Maybe. You're right.
So.
You're right. Because that second one, the one that buzzed him, it was a late hit.
Yeah.
Whew, let's see what happens here. Last round. Let's see.
Oh my god.
Last round. Pereira still looks pretty fresh, though. He's not sucking wind.
I mean, he's definitely got to go for a knockout.
He has to. He's got to swing for the fences, man.
He's down 3-1 right now.
I would
at
think
least.
so, man.
Yeah.
Izzy knows it, though. You have to know that, right? So you're going to want to keep it close.
The problem is that you don't want to be too defensive either. Kind of felt like both conserved some energy in that round for, Well, Pereira's got to swing for the fences, man. Yeah. Yeah, they have the same thing that I'm having. Dude, just don't get caught. That's the only thing is you don't get caught, because if you get caught, you're going to get... He's keeping this dirty boxing thing, so he really can't generate enough force to knock him out.
Exactly. Just keeping him close.
I feel like he's he's doing the same thing. He's all, dude, what are we doing right now?
See, and that's what I'm saying. When Izzy starts fighting like this, it just bugs me, man.
He's doing a GSP. Oh no, did he just hurt his leg? He might have just broke his leg, dude.
I don't think so.
No, he kicked his shin, and when he went to do it, his shin like almost gave out on him.
Oh
no, Izzy. Yeah, look, they're talking about it on the thing. Pereira checked Izzy's kick, and he went to plant, and then that leg might be broken.
Yeah,
dude.
he's not really.
Dude, you threw it again? Oh, man, you're a madman. Ooh. Bro, I wouldn't throw that. I wouldn't throw that again, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't throw it again. Don't do a Weidman.
Wasn't it his
Silva.
left leg though, or was it his right? I thought it was his left leg.
He just threw both of them. This is wild. Don't.
Pereira is actually catching him a little bit, man.
Yo, he hit him.
Dude, he's out.
Oh my god. Oh,
get him,
dude.
Sink him.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Oh my god, he's about to get put out. He's out.
Yeah!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I told you guys, man.
Ali called it. Oh my god.
All right, guys. Sorry for the interruption. We kind of lost power to our camera, and thankfully, I think we captured at least us losing our minds after Alex Pereira pulled off this last ditch Hail Mary, time running out, buzzer beater knockout essentially in the fourth quarter or fifth round essentially. But craziness. You guys want to give any type of last recaps? Anything? I think we kind of agreed that it sounds like they're likely going to have to run that one back. And what do you guys think?
I don't really know. I don't really have anything to say because I'll let you guys talk because I don't know how much time is left.
Okay, cool.
I just
No, I mean, I think they're definitely going to run it back for sure. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We tried to do our first fight companion. Hopefully, it wasn't just us rambling and you guys are just looking at us stare at the screen. But hope you guys liked our topics today. Thank you, Ali, for freaking being our first guest, man. I love you, man.
Thank you guys for having me. Love you guys too.
Yeah,
man.
hope we get to have you on some, more often.
Yes.
Hopefully I promise. The next time I'm on, I'm gonna work on my sexy Mario voice.
Oh, the sexy radio voice.
Yes.
Dude, I don't got that. I got my nice high pitched nasally voice. Bro.
It is what it is, man. This is a vibe.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys later. Take care.
All right, have a good night.